Okay, we're live. Fitnet here with another Cartridge Club Hangout. Here with Musty.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I bet you thought you'd be seeing the game wall today.
Yeah, no such luck, I guess.
Well, it's called strategic camera placement.
And no spoilers.
Ah, there's nobody watching yet. It wouldn't be worth showing it just yet.
Fair enough.
But I will probably. I do have um, some pretty big deal pickups at some point, so we'll get to those
That's
when
good
we
because
do.
I have literally one Blu-ray.
Nice, nice. Yeah. It's been busy. What did we do? We've
It
been
in.
cleaning the old place. Oh, Dean wants to see the game wall. How quick can I turn the camera and snap it back? We'll just go slow. We'll just do this. We'll just turn it a little bit at a time.
Just a little
Ooh,
a little min teaser.
nin teasers. Yeah. Um, I'll show by the end of the night. All will be revealed, but there's still some major items that I need to get. Like I need to a portion of this was the stuff that I built, and then the other portion is going to be store bought. Um, so I need to get those part. The second half, the store bought stuff has not. We haven't had a chance to. There's not an IKEA for like 3.5 hours away, so I'm not taking a 7 hour trip. I actually might pick it up on the way back from C3. But I have yet to decide if I want to try to accelerate that process, because I really like to not have to wait a full month. But there's some other purchases for the house, things like, new couch, that sort of thing. And it's like, I don't want to be selfish.
Yeah. Everything you can get delivered in one thing, do that. Because
That's true.
the delivery cost is like $100, or at least it is in Canada.
Yeah, so it's 60. If I bought everything I needed right now, it'd be $60. The tax, if I go to Chicago, will be less than that cost at this point. I'm already going to be in Chicago, so it's really just a matter of
what you can fit in your car on the way back.
as long as I can fit it all in the car. That would be the only concern, would be not being able to fit it all. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 items. And then my wife needs a bunch of small spice racks because she's going to build a little like a book nook in my son's room. So like there's going to be spots for like these small spice racks that be able to stack some books in. Those don't take up space.
Is that more or less cost effective than just getting those little ledge shelf things?
Those are $4 a piece. The spice racks are.
Oh, okay.
Now they're unpainted, but they're easy to paint. And then yeah, so we used to have those ones that are just like you drill the pieces into the wall and then you hook that piece onto there. The difference here being is that this one, it has that shelf, but then it also has this like front piece, so you can actually like lean the books without them falling off, which is what I think she was aiming for. Unless I'm thinking of a different kind of shelf than you are.
No, just those basic wall shelves. Nothing fancy.
Yeah.
I've just never really looked at those versus like a spice rack. So
yeah, I mean they're fairly small. They're not too bulky, and with a lot of his books, he doesn't have heavy books right now, so I'm not too concerned about that just yet. But okay, Dean, you've been patient, so we're gonna go a little bit further. I'll just show you there. And
ever so slightly more than the NES.
is this,
Very slightly, just like the bottom three of those
oh yeah.
Atari boxes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple, I guess. Where are those? Xbox games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to see what angle you're getting.
Just
Yeah,
very little of the next shelves over. That's not much.
it's a tease. But yeah. So the stuff I'm going to buy for my key is going to take up this bottom section, basically across the entire wall. Um, but yeah. Well, you know what? We're just going to go for it. So there's this up here. I got some open space up at the top.
Okay.
So I got the whole Tengen set right there.
Very nice.
Hold on. We got to get this right. There we go. Super Nintendo Loose is here.
Hmm.
The Activision and the Imagic games for Atari are here. All the other Atari 2600 ones are here. These are the like Intellivision ones. These are the Coleco ones, the Parker Brothers, and then all the other Atari. That's the obvious.
Yeah. Not much in television going on.
No. Well, no. Those are the like the Mattel ones. No, the M Network ones, which are, and then there's this. Here's kind of the rest.
It's like a little bit more and all of it.
Yeah, I'm just. So I have some room to grow. I was nervous at one point putting this up, and then once I got toward the end, I was like, okay, I because I was just like, man, this feels like, especially with the NES, I was like, this feels like I'm putting a lot of games up, and that was all I had put up to that point. I'm like, I'm gonna run out of space, and thankfully, what I want to do is take as much of this and push it down to leave as much of the open stuff. Yeah, but I need better lighting on these. They're all lit by this one fixture. But I'm really happy with how the paint came out on this, and it it makes the shelves fold into the background, but they don't overpower the games. Like you can clearly see like here, okay, here's here's the Switch stuff over here, and here's the Wii U stuff, and like the colors of the games really pop, except for the Wii.
Yep.
The Wii and the Master System games kind of
Blend
don't have that same oomph, but and then we won't show the pickups because those are hiding in the spot there. Master Chief's holding down the fort. But yeah, so that's that so far.
Nice.
I'll go
Yeah,
back
and if
to
you push them down a bit, then you can just have like the couple top shelves free, and you can maybe like lean some games with the box art forward just for display.
I'm sure.
Fill
Yeah,
the space up a little bit.
yeah, for sure.
That's the one time I volunteer to the game store talking, reorganizing the shelves.
Well, yeah, you don't want to make it look like your shelves don't have stuff on it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. What I might do is take the boxed cart stuff, take the carts out, because I was initially concerned about space. That's like I could take the carts out, mingle those with the because there's not that many, right? There's like this one shelf is it. So take the carts out, mingle those with the collections over here, and then move this way up to the move those way up to the top, and then push the actual like ones that I would pull off the shelf more frequently down. Maybe we'll see.
Whatever works. Hey Ryan.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Meh. missed the shelves, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll show them again. I'm just.
That Musty was giving the finger there for a second. All I saw.
No, that was. Here, I'll give you the slow turn. So this is section 1. I still have 2 full open shelves.
Sure.
So Atari, N64, more Atari, Tengen, Super Nintendo. You know what those are.
Apologies to everyone else who literally just saw this.
Where's the loose Genesis? Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Joe's making good on his promise. Or not his promise.
Hey,
Look.
Joe. You're muted. Just part of.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Cautionary measure when people join.
First time, long time.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Glad to see you guys.
Good to see you on the show.
I was trying to figure out this Discord thing, and I couldn't get it going.
Yeah, I think you need to just get an invite sent.
Musty, you want to get on that?
We can do that. I'll figure it out. Also, I think I'm not sure. Maybe the link on P1's pinned tweet. It's possible that has expired.
Oh, I didn't think about looking there.
Yeah, he's got it pinned.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure.
And since you just mentioned that on a live show, I would hope it's expired.
Oh, it's
safe because he can always kick anyone out, basically, if there's
yeah.
a troublemaker or something.
Not too worried. We've left Ryan in there for as long as he has. So.
Yeah, and I've disappeared from there for a while.
Yeah. I think now that we've got some of the tricky stuff figured out with like moderation of the actual Hangout, I think maybe putting it out as public on Twitter like we had in the past is going to be easier to do. But
Yeah.
For a while there, we weren't sure, and for some reason it wasn't like giving us the ability to boot people. So we were
Are you talking about just like since we switched over to this channel?
Yeah. At first it wasn't like the option wasn't there. It
Yeah,
wasn't giving us all that stuff.
Yeah, if I'm remembering right, that was because we didn't have a Google Plus account associated, which is an incredibly stupid reason to not have the toolbar or cameraman functionality. It's like, if you don't make a Google Plus account, good luck, you're screwed.
Yeah. Well, we fixed it.
Yep.
It was easy enough.
Discovered it the day of E3.
Yes, that's true. Like,
We can figure out how to do the overlays or anything too. And now I was actually at the gym, like searching on my phone, Googling, because they're like, we can't figure this out.
Yeah. Hey, we got it.
Yep. Right in time.
Just in time.
Look at that. We could even get to see Joe Glasses too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I find I'm meeting them a bit more often nowadays. Oh well.
That's fine.
Most of your shelves are looking good there, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll give you the whole. So
Ooh.
this is the other section. I just kind of got everything out of the boxes and onto the walls. I don't know. I'm not sure what the ordering is going to be, but probably going to bring these down that way, because that way I have full shelves kind of starting from this point. Oh, I'm not seeing my hands. I have full shelves across for Xbox and NES. So to kind of have those be focused out of like this spot here and radiate outward, there's some strange logic I'm trying to make for it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with them so far, and there's plenty of room to go. And then there'll be more store-bought stuff to fill out the bottom section soon enough. Might not be till on my way home from Chicago, because I have to go to IKEA, and there's not one close by. And I can save money by not shipping it.
And are you actually going to be able to get all your games on the shelves?
These are all the games.
Well, that's your complete collection?
This is the complete collection.
Nice.
Yeah. It felt like I was nervous. I was nervous putting them on, especially once I was like, okay, wow, like 3 full, and well, more than 3 with the Tengen ones. But like when I was at that, I was just like, oh god, I'm gonna run out of space pretty quick, and surprisingly, I have a lot more real estate than I thought I did, which is good. Either that, or I just have fewer games than I thought I did, which is okay.
Apparently, you have fewer games than a lot of people thought.
Hey, that's okay. I must talk mean game. But I did. I mean, I have purged. I've had like a purge every single year. It's like spring cleaning for me.
Yeah,
so I certainly trimmed down. Like at one point, I had 200 Xbox games. Now I'm down to maybe. I should just count them, but maybe 100. A little over 100.
I think I've got around 50, and that's probably still too much.
Nah.
It's not a heck of a lot compared to other collections I've had. Like I had way too many PS2 games at one point.
It's no VG Collectaholic.
Yeah. What'd you do with them? Just take them to Goodwill?
What?
Your PS2 games.
Oh. You talking to me?
No.
Or you talking to Fitnat?
Fitnat.
Oh no, I
You're
put
saying
them
at one
in a
point-
purge box, but they're
Oh.
still just in another room.
Just in another box.
Yeah, pretty much out of sight, out of mind. I have all my purge games just out somewhere for when I'm ready to sell them, just kind of ready to go. But I just don't really have anything really convenient to do for that. Thought about doing a garage sale because there's a lot of commons, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
I was gonna say, Musty, are you getting a purge going for your GameStop right now because of that trade-in deal?
I did. I mean, I let go of most of the DS
already.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you...
like the day that you and I were talking about it. I went.
I didn't know you ran and got it. So because like it's ends next week Saturday, I think it's like July 6th. I think it ends.
Yeah, I don't have another batch to get rid of at this point.
I'm holding off for just to see if I can find anything else real quick before I turn in what I got right now.
Yeah.
So
no, I ended up netting just enough to get the thing that I wanted for free. So now I have that. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Tease.
I have it right here. It is in my hands right now.
Did you try it out yet?
I synced it. So
okay.
It works. It took a charge. But no, this room is still a mess. At least I have like the consoles that are going to be in here. I have them out of their boxes. Joe, one of the questions that you had for me was, what are you going to do with the boxes? And I don't think I'm going to display the boxes. I'm going to hang on to them, but I have those big storage bins that I was transporting those in, or all the games in. So I think I'm going to use those and kind of put those away and keep them in, a dry, dark place until the time it comes where they are called upon or something.
Is that like the closet space that you were showing us?
No, I will probably put them in the garage. The closet space, I have something else planned, and that's still a mystery. So
the Wizard of Oz right there.
Yeah.
No, don't look behind the curtain.
That I won't be showing tonight because I still have work to do. I don't know when the next update can happen because part of me is struggling to because I was going a pretty solid clip there because it was like a thing that needed multiple steps. So giving like little chunks of an update every day was great. But now it's been like, okay, well, today I mowed the lawn, and today I took all of the old folded, I I went through some of the storage bins that had like non-essential stuff and got rid of, you know, a bunch of useless packing materials and stuff like that. Like, just it's boring stuff. I just want to get back to being able to play games. It'll happen. But like, I got to get a couple TVs mounted, one in here, one up in the living room. So I need to figure out how to do that, and then what I need to.
You can order. So the one I have in my bedroom hanging on my wall. I don't know if you remember seeing it, Musty, or whatever. It was the $20 frame from Amazon.
Okay.
And like it supports up to, I think, a 50-inch television. Granted, they have other sizes one, but like I think like for the bigger TVs, like the 65 inches, that's like $30. And essentially, it's about finding like 2 studs, leveling it out, you know, and then screwing it in, basically, you know.
Okay. Yeah, because I need one for 50,
and
then one for 65.
So, like I said, if you
Must be nice.
I mean, I had a friend because that's what he does for a living, so I had him do it for me.
Oh, sure. I mean, now that I have that awesome drill, like my power tool confidence level has jumped significantly.
Yeah, that's all you essentially need is that, because it comes with everything. The kit comes with everything essentially. So as long as you have that drill, you should be able to pull it off. You know. Yeah.
Now, once I got that getting that top shelf was on both of these was not easy because I had no help. So I had to like manually like hold the thing up and then get the drill going at the same time. And I was working with like 4-inch screws, so if I went in at an angle, I was going to be totally toast. But I lucked out and managed to do them well enough.
And you say those are just 2x2s, right?
So the wall, yeah. So the uprights are 2x2s, and then these are 2x3s with the screw going through the shorter side. So
is there a gap space between the 2x3s and like there? Yeah.
Okay. There's there's this width is open in the back.
Okay.
And so really, like, the only games I think I'm at risk of falling in, I mean, if you ended up getting a game turned in sideways, then it could start to go. But then the goal is to just keep full shelves, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I suggested to Musty when he was doing it, start from the bottom first, because that way, if anything, if one stalls accidentally,
to fill from the bottom, you mean?
Yeah, fill from the bottom first, and then that in case of something slips through, it gets caught on the bottom. So, the one below it at least. So, from experience stacking my shelves.
Yeah, the depth is good enough on most. Like, I'm not concerned about wobble. Like, they do overhang, like especially on the disc stuff. There's a bit of overhang, maybe about an inch. But yeah,
that personally.
Yeah, I mean the other option would be to I just don't know that they make screws long enough for what I would need to make that work with. Because you were using 2x4s, weren't you, Ryan?
Yeah. But then my buddy supplied the screws from his work, basically. He's got boxes full of them in his truck, so.
Okay.
Screws were
they like ridiculously long screw, like?
Yeah, I think so. Not ridiculously long, but probably like long enough to do it, what's it called? 2x4, if you will, so.
Yeah, because I was dealing with 4-inch ones here, 4-inch screws here, and those were no easy task.
Well, essentially, how he did is he took the 2x4s and he took the 1x2s, and then he screwed them into the 2x4s this way, and then took the other half of the 1x2s and screwed it into the wall, basically. So he made it so it was stronger against the wall, if you will, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then he had another 1x2 for the front. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you had a interesting.
So he had basically.
You should send. You should.
I'll take a couple pictures to show what his idea was basically, because he felt to be stronger that way, as opposed to he saw Troy's video and he goes, well, that'll work, but I think this will probably be safer, so that's why he did it that way. So
sure. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, a lot of the stuff I have here, I'm not concerned about it falling.
No.
So I guess, I mean, we'll see. I was having this internal debate about what to do with the N64 games, because I'm not really a fan of that look.
Universal game cases for those ones.
So I could go universal game cases. I certainly have the space for it. The recommendation that I heard on Discard's channel was from Church was to get the plastic game covers and do the label.
Yeah, that might be fine too.
The label on there. I
like that idea. That's a good idea. I like that better than what's it called? I don't like those labels on the top of the N64, if you will.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to hit both of those, right? But
yeah. You kind of have to get those on super perfectly, or they look terrible.
Yeah, if they're crooked by like a micron, then no good.
Yeah, but those cases seem like they might be a little flimsy and annoying to constantly open and close. But I've never had them really in hand, and those are really close to the cart, so I could be wrong.
Yeah, like they fit pretty. I mean, it's not super snug, but it's pretty snug. There's not a lot of movement there.
Perfectly engineered.
Yeah, it's just really flimsy plastic, so I think that would be a little irksome after time.
Yeah, it could be.
Good idea, though.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, because I mean, on these, doing an label facing outward solution doesn't work. So the other option is I come up with something for when I add the IKEA stuff down here, and then have them displayed that way. But then I feel like I'm throwing away usable real estate. So.
Make a trade with Chris Roberts for those N64 like VHS cases, if you will.
I got rid of the tape one that I had, those like wood grain ones that would fit cassette tapes that fit Genesis carts really well. I ditched it. It was just like the point of this is to show the games, and for the first time, I'm quite proud of this, because I've talked about in the past how my wife's like, she's not really as big fan of the way that my game room used to be. Just like it's kind of mishmash of shelves and just games seemingly everywhere. And she just generally was like, I feel like it's clutter. And then when she saw this, she's like, this looks awesome. And I was like, I did not expect you to say this ever. This is awesome that you're saying this is awesome.
That's another good factor with those shelves, is it forces you to display everything that you have. You're not hiding games behind games due to lack of space. Like that's how my shelves are, and it's just disgusting. But this is forces you to consolidate your collection, only keep the stuff that you want, and at the same time it's displayed.
Are those like those bookshelves, Joe?
Just the IKEA bookshelves, yeah.
Okay.
The Billy ones, yeah. So I've got a row of games and another row of games in front of it, and then games stacked on top of those games, just due to lack of space.
Yeah, that stuff irks me so much. I try to avoid it as best as possible.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, and that's the advantage and the disadvantage to deeper shelves, right? Like you can certainly house, 2 rows of books or 2 rows of games.
I wasn't crapping on that, by the way. It's just
No, I
more
think
of a
we all bought
preference
them.
thing.
I think we all bought them, right? Because they're convenient, if you will, and not super expensive. You know.
I used to have the Target ones.
Yeah. Same.
You know, and those were the same kind of concept. But yeah, they weren't necessarily meant for truly displaying things. They were meant for storage, and I think maybe that's the difference. But I still like your layout, Joe. I like how that you still have a lot to see in there, even though you've got some of it then masked by other stuff. It's just it's tough if you know where that one game is and somebody's like, oh, I want to play that, and then you're like, oh, well, let me figure out, and you gotta start digging to
Yeah,
go
that's the
get
whole
it.
issue.
Yeah, I still like it. It still looks clean. You definitely utilize and maximize what space you have, and that's also important, especially because you've got it in a contained room.
Well, not really, because it's in my closet and under the master bedroom bed and in the basement. So there is overflow.
Sure.
And it would be nice to sort of trim down a bit and just keep the stuff that I know I'd really appreciate or play at some point, even if it's in my backlog right now. But I got that bug where I can't throw anything away at the moment.
Yeah, that was kind of where I was at with some of the DS games. I was telling myself, like, the deal that they had was if you trade in 6 or more and you're an Elite Pro at GameStop, you get 50% more trade credit. And so part of me was like, I'm only going to get like $2 for this game. And then it's like, you can have the $2 now. And if you ever decide that you need to go back to this game, it may only be $2 at that point. And so I parted with some of those. Now I did keep the cases and the manuals and the inserts because GameStop would,
they don't even care about the game. They don't care about the cases.
Well, they would ditch them anyways. So yeah, I might as well. I could either list those on eBay, or convert them into GBA cases, or just hold out for eventually someday getting that copy of that game back, finding it loose or something.
You know, speaking of shelves, so I was at not GameStop. I was at Menards this weekend, which is a hardware store in my neck of the woods. It's very much like your Home Depots or your Lowell's. And what's called just walking through, because I stopped through their shelf aisle just to see what they had for options or something like that. Because I'm still looking for something a little bit different for NES. I would love to have a media display shelf, if you will, like a DVD case, because that maps up perfectly for that stuff. But I was just walking through the aisle, and they essentially have shelves like ready to go. And then they have, like, if you go over to another section, they have even longer ones. So if you want to say, like, map out how tall your walls are, they have like 8-foot long boards. And then, like I said, they have other ones. So essentially you can probably plan it and you can get cut there. So if you know dimensionally what size boards you want, and they have them too. They are shelf boards. It's not, just 2x4s and whatnot.
Oh, they're the thinner. Well, probably like half the height on these.
It's kind of like Joe's, bookshelf behind him a little bit, but you can get them cut. So like I said, like if you want to say, all right, I want to make this 5 inches deep, so you can buy it in width. I think they have a 24-inch width, and then they have like a 15 and an 11. So like I said, like your choice, you can go as deep as you want. If you buy the 24, you can probably get it a few times, and then like I said, it's 8 foot by what's called 24 foot wide, 24 inches wide. So you can just cut them that way. So you probably wouldn't be buying as many boards as you think if you can map it out. And then, like I said, the section below it had thinner cut boards, and then there's another section with even smaller ones. So if you want to do the inside boards, and then next to that they have the peggings. So if you want to, to have the peggings for the shelf, they're right by that. So essentially, the only thing you probably would have to do is drill the holes on the inside of the shelves and maybe then like screw in the boards basically with your drill, you know. And they also have the tape. So like I said, if you cut them, you know how like those bookshelves behind Joe, that it's black all the way around with that black tape, or the black painted all the way around. You can take the tape that is essentially the same outer, you know, shell of the boards basically, and you can put them over the board length, if you will. You know, so you would have, you know, you wouldn't have that one board that is just wood showing, if you will. You can put over it, you know, the black line, or they have, because they had it in black, they had it in white, and then they just had it in like regular brown wood. So that's what I was eyeing up. I want to speak to my buddy Mike again about it, just talk it over with him. But I think it's pretty, you know, I think it's pretty doable, if you will.
This totally became a shelf cast.
Shelf. We got a guy who would love it, you know, and another guy trying to bring it back.
Or do you want to go into pickups now?
We could.
I was gonna ask if any of you guys are watching the summer games done quick.
At work and now.
Yeah, I have it going right now as well.
Watching the Metroid 2 remake there.
Yeah. And then Super Metroid's on after that. 100% of the map coverage is the goal on that one.
I watched a Doom playthrough today.
That was the one from the other night?
Yeah. That was excellent.
That was
Which
nuts. 2016?
Oh.
They've got some tricks. That speed run on that is just nuts.
Interesting.
It's nice though, because they will load it up the next day too. So if you miss any of them, like you can just search their YouTube page and you'll find them.
They
I
got
haven't really
included, yeah.
gotten into watching those, but they're always a little bit interesting. Yeah.
It's kind of tough if you want to watch the game to see the game. It's not the right venue for it, because they're like, story.
Well, the thing is, it depends on the game, if you will. Like some games, I hate speedrunners who just glitch through walls the entire game.
Sure.
Like I was impressed for a while watching a guy doing Sonic 3 and Knuckles today until he started just skipping through walls basically, and I'm like, you know. But then there's like times where you just see a guy who's just so damn good at the game. I was watching the guy do the Castlevania run. He beat that in like 10 minutes. The guy who did the Ninja Gaiden run,
the Bloodlines run was impressive.
The Ninja Gaiden one from Sunday was fantastic, where the guy beat it like in 10 minutes. That was like, there's stuff I didn't realize. Like there's a, you know, every level has like the blue spin attack, and that will take out the boss with one hit. So like that's how he was just absolutely raking. He wasn't, you know, glitching or anything. He was just that good at it. So
wow.
Yeah, you're right. The full game playthroughs done quick are interesting, because I like to see everything, but at the same time, it's nice if they have that other option too, like you said, where they glitch through and you know, like that Doom one, the guy was glitching through walls and doing railgun jumps halfway through each level. So it'd be nice if they had both options.
Yeah, no, they do. They do. It's experiment there, you know. I remember like I tuned in for Pulseman one time, and essentially the guy was he didn't do any of the game. He just spammed through the wall, goes to the top, and ran across the top of the screen for the whole level. So you don't get to see any of the game. It was just him spamming through, and you beat the game in like 6 minutes because you get to skip every level.
Well, like there's there are Skyrim playthroughs that have beaten it in like 50 minutes. Like beating the main campaign in 50 minutes, because they've used some strategic stuff. Because like if you're holding a plate against certain walls, yeah, you'll just pass right through the walls. It's weird, very strange. But like the Shantae race on Sunday was cool. The Super Metroid one is coming up probably in an hour or so.
Tradition always play that one on the runs there.
Yeah.
I always like it when there's a race. You know, the races are always really fun to watch.
Well, they did the Metroid Fusion race before this. They had 4 people going. That one was pretty nuts, but that's a good time.
I know. I'm looking at tomorrow's one. Tomorrow, I wanted to see, because I like the shirts a lot too. That you know, like proceeds go to the charity. You know. There's at least like 3 shirts. I like the Link to the Past shirt a lot, and I like the Metal Gear Twin Snake shirt a lot. So I'm probably gonna order, at least one of them, maybe 2. I also do like the shirt for this year because they do like, because they do this twice a year. So then they have this is the Summer Games Done Quick, and the other one's just called Awesome Games Done Quick. But the one that's like just for the Summer Games Done Quick shirt that has like all the essentially cartoons of all the games that are being like run. I think that's really cool looking shirt too. Do want to see that Metal Gear run tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Should be an interesting one to watch. Just looking over. Oh, there's the marvelous Mighty Q Dog.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can.
Hello. I
Hello.
could not skip this one with Joe
There you go.
Eric.
in the Hangouts. Joe, it's good to see you here.
Nice seeing you, Eric, too, man.
Look at this. We have 2 hosts of STC right here.
That's right.
Bill, where's Bill? Bill's not in here.
No.
No, when you co-hosted.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just a guest. Still consider myself a guest.
Guest host.
Okay, fine. Guest host, sure.
Not too many people can say they've done that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Who else? Besides maybe what's the P2?
Travis
maybe,
and-
or
No, Travis and
Miles.
did Sean? Because didn't you guys do the switch up one time where Joe you were on with P1
I was on with Sean on theirs, yeah.
and then P2 was with Bill.
Bill, yeah.
Right.
Hey, have you guys seen the Curtis's video where he got the Aerofighters game?
I watched it.
Yeah.
Is in the most recent Booty Bonanza.
Yeah,
Yep.
most recent one.
Well, he sneakily dropped Aero Fighters at the end of the last one. Didn't say a word.
Did he? I missed that.
Yeah, it was like the second to last game. He's like, "Yeah, the Aero Fighters," and just like,
Yeah. Has he done another one since then?
yeah, just yesterday.
Oh, okay. We missed that one. Yeah, we saw the one where he just kind of was like, eh. And Melissa's like, wait a minute, isn't that the big one? I'm like, yeah,
That
that's
is
weird.
the-
What the heck happened there?
Game. So yeah, he gives the whole story. He actually has footage in the store.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the new one.
I won't say anything more because
Because that game's like 600 US, 800 and change Canadian.
I think.
He's got most of the heavy hitters out of the way, I think, too.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, he was he's saying he could probably achieve this year now.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't thinking that was going to happen. I need to stop talking.
Spoilers.
Let's the hell with his videos. Let's get it out of the way. Let's spoil them all. We're
Well, I
busy.
think watch it regardless.
We're busy.
Yeah, I think it's the best video he's done, editing wise, too.
What are we talking about? I had to step away.
Curtis's Booty Bonanza, most recent
okay.
Booty Bonanza.
Number 50.
Oh,
Didn't even. Shut up, Musty.
it's all right.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's cool. Well,
very
I'll have to comment on it and try to encourage him to come up to PRGE. It's been several years since he's been up here.
Yeah, for sure.
See if we can get him to come up.
Well, since you were talking about the Booty Bonanza videos, why not just transition to pickups?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I'll get mine out of the way because it's probably incredibly boring to most people. I picked up the first season of Legion on Blu-ray,
All right.
which is really good.
Still haven't checked out the second season, but I like the first season.
Yeah, really interesting show.
What's Legion?
It's a kind of an X-Men TV show.
It's
So
in
you
the
don't really
X-Men
need to know
Oh,
anything
yeah.
about the movies or anything like that. It's 8 episodes. It's really good. It's from the same people that did the Fargo TV show, if you like that.
Yeah, okay.
So check this out if you have FX anywhere to watch it. Or find the Blu-ray cheap. Anyway, who wants to go next?
I can.
Okay.
So where was the first thing here? I left one thing. Actually, let me go next. Let me go grab it. Here, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I forgot it.
Must you?
Sure.
Or yeah.
No, I can go. Ryan already knows this first thing, so I'll talk about that. I went to GameStop. They're currently in the extra trade-in for multiple games type deal that they've done in the past, and so I had a bunch of DS games that I just knew I wasn't going to play anymore, and so I brought those in. Those were kind of in my trade or my sell box as it was. So I was like, well, I know my one shop has this thing that I want. They have it used, and with my Elite Pro, like, gets the price down significantly. And so I traded in those DS games and got the aim controller for the PSVR. And so I have that now. So now I can go play Farpoint. I can play Doom with this, and then there's a handful of other games that utilize it. But I've been kind of stalling and holding out on playing Doom because I wanted to make sure I had it. But yeah, it's
So what's special about that controller?
it's
2 analog sticks.
yeah. There's an analog stick here and one
Okay.
here, and then at the same time, it's supposed to 1-to-1 represent in game.
Okay.
So I haven't tried it yet to actually be able to put into words how it feels differently than using just the move controllers. But it's supposed to be like Farpoint is supposed to be like the game that like you don't want to play any other way but with this. So
that's a full-on controller, right? That's not just a move
that's
thing
a full
snapped in
controller.
there.
Nope.
Okay.
This is all contained. And then there's not additional pieces like the 4 face buttons are here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's clever.
Yeah.
Is
So
that
you got
thing hard to
those.
find?
It's
Is
not
it
hard.
rare? Is it?
No, it's not that rare. My store just happened to have one used, and like new they're 60. They're 80 if you get it with Farpoint. Used they are 44. And then with Elite Pro, that took another $9 off of it, so it got it down to
nice.
$35. And then I used trade credit entirely to cover it, so they actually paid me $0.25 to take this. So, but yeah, start and options buttons are in here. There's a D-pad in here as well, but and then your R1 button is up here. I'm not sure what. Sure, different games have different representations of it, but yeah, you can just see.
Nice.
So what VR games do you have, Musty?
I have Doom, Skyrim, Farpoint, The Inpatient. I picked up Star Wars Battlefront, the first one, because there's a VR thing in there. Wipeout VR, which is unbelievable. Like that is worth the price of admission right there.
Yeah.
Wipeout VR.
Yeah, that's just the Omega collection that has it in there. That's not a separate.
Exactly. Yes, that's true.
Just for clarification purposes.
It was a patch on that game, which you can get that game for like $20. But
Yeah.
it is entirely done in VR if you have the headset, and it's pretty awesome. I got the demo disc, VR Worlds, and then one of the demo discs. I want to get Resident Evil 7, but I don't want to get Resident Evil 7. I'm nervous about that. Oh, stop.
You know, I was going to ask you, where was the Spider-Man demo you're talking about? Because I didn't see it in my box, if anything.
It's Homecoming, and it's it's in the free section of the market. It's free section of the PSN.
Okay, I'll have to take another look there because I wanted to try it out.
Yeah, there's like a section that's like PSVR, but like free items. It's like it's more like an app than anything else. And then let me get the other things real quick.
Hey, Matt.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Matt.
Hello.
So the The other deal I had was one with VG Collectaholic, and if you heard on Masters of Unlocking, I sent him a somewhat high-profile game, and he sent me some games after I attached some cash to that deal. So trying to think of the order to do these, but yeah, let's do this. Maybe that. We'll do it this way. So these are all original Xbox games. We got Worms for Mayhem. There's a couple Worms games on there, but this is entirely 3D. I don't know if that's picking up very well. I got Barbie Horse Adventures.
Cool. That's backward compatible, isn't it?
I think so.
You can plug it on your 360.
Fantastic shape.
Essential.
That's right. Well, hard to come by.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Well, I mean, it's not cheap by comparison to. So
Is that right?
the last couple, I'm not sure what order to put them in because they're all what I would consider heavies. We'll go with this one first. This is the Grand Theft Auto trilogy.
Ooh. I was looking at that. I almost pinged him on that one.
Yeah, and so this itself has all three, and then each of these flips out and has additional artwork and the manuals. The discs themselves actually say trilogy on them.
Yeah.
So and so each of them has their own deal here.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's in really good shape, and I'm like, I have the double pack, and I was like, you know what, this is if you go to Xbox Rarity, this is like the second item behind Steel Battalion.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Does it come with the maps?
Where's Madden 09 on that list?
It's up there. It's on the first page. Madden 09 is. Does it come with the maps? It sure do.
Okay. I was just curious because I wasn't seeing it.
Yep.
But,
Yep. There. Yes.
Nice. Nice.
that would be
the
an
maps.
odd omission if it wasn't in there.
Yeah.
But,
All the maps, all the manuals are here. Do the manuals have? The manuals don't seem to have special marking, but the discs do, and that's I think some of what makes this one more special. And we got Stubbs the Zambi.
Yeah, that's one you've been looking for a while.
I've been
right?
looking. Yeah, this has been up on my list for quite a while, and yeah, so again, fantastic shape. Scott takes good care of his stuff.
I'm sorry,
So-
what was that last one?
Stubbs.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
And then the last one is Futurama.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys work out a trade? Was this entirely trade?
No, it was not entirely trade.
What did you give him again?
CIB Gunstar Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Was
is,
that everything?
that is everything.
Yeah, good pickups. Ryan,
Yeah.
you want to pick up where you never started?
Sure. So this one's a little bit of an older pickup. I forgot about it. It's been in my car for a minute. I found it week of E3. I found it for. I'll show the price first. I don't know if I can pull it up. If it shows right there, $1.99, and it's a PlayStation 2 display case. There's me. Inception. So I got a PlayStation 2 wall piece here, if you will. Yeah, for $2. Well, there might have been student discount day, but I can't remember because it's been a couple weeks. I got these with some eBay trade credit, I guess, if you will, with my PayPal credit. Because I didn't see them at that toy store a couple weeks ago, I decided just to jump on this. It's been one of the toys I've been wanting to get back, and I got Bucky O'Hare back. So it came with this gun, and then this guy was actually cheaper bundled with the main bad guy. then by himself to some other sellers, so I jumped on this one. And then I picked this up today, actually, with my student discount, and it was a double discount because anything with a gold sticker was half off. Now, this didn't have a sticker, but it was written with gold, I don't know, marking. So when I asked the clerk, I was like, does this count for the half off? And she said, well, it's our mistake. So yes. So essentially this was listed as $2.99 each. So I paid $2.99 once, and then I pulled out my student ID and it brought it down to $2.50 for both of these. So these are the Nyko Super Cobras for, I believe, the PS2. Could be the PS1.
That's a PS2 controller.
So 2 of them. So for the light gun games. So
Would those work for Time Crisis?
I hope. This one sounds like it's got that good clicking action. This one doesn't have as good of a clicking sound. So if it's broke, hey, I got this for whatever. This was essentially thrown in there for free, so if you will, because they're a mistake, right? So yeah, and that's what I got today.
It's been a while since I used that joke.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyone else want to go? Have anything?
I don't think I have anything.
I want to see Matt pull up some art here. That's what I want to see.
I haven't made anything recently. I made that Castlevania stuff.
Yeah, that Castlevania one's pretty badass.
Yeah, I like that. Turned out good.
Mm-hmm. Do you just use that Pixel app, or where it puts the grid lines in, or how do you do it?
I used to use there was an app called Beat It HD, and I used that. Or when I first started, I used I would just open the image on Microsoft Paint, and then put a grid over it, and then do it that way. But I've made so much stuff now that I can just reference what I've made before, that I really don't have to use that except for bigger stuff.
So what you're saying is you can just beat it.
I am.
No.
They've been showing back to the Summer Games Done Quick thing. They've been showing some Perler art that they're giving away as donation raffle stuff. You should totally grab some of that art and make it yourself.
Well, I saw that. Didn't you show one time you made a Friday the 13th NES one for a friend, Matt?
Yeah, that I did. I hand painted and drew the background, and then attached the Jason and the other character
Camp Counselor
underneath it. Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I like that one. I made that for a couple years ago. I actually have a buddy who he does an art show here locally that I'm going to be doing some stuff for. It's like a Alzheimer's benefit that he does every year. And,
nice.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Pixel Dan, run for the money here. Yeah.
Joe, do you have any pickups?
No, I've actually had to work last couple of days, so I haven't had a chance to get out. I'm sort of saving up. TFCon is here in a couple of weeks, so I want to save some cash up and maybe pick up some GoBots when I get there.
Were you ever into GoBots, or is that something you just kind of getting into?
No, I was as a kid. I had a bunch, and I loved the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. GoBots had a cartoon,
and I've gotten more into them recently as I've been delving into the back history of them and stuff like that. So I only have maybe 5 or 6 in my collection now.
Did you check out that what's it called? Not My Life. What's it called? The Toys That Made Us on the Transformers episode?
No, I haven't watched that series yet. for some reason I've got no interest in checking it out.
That one was
Transformers episode is good.
I felt like I learned something about Transformers a little bit on that one because I didn't realize that I think. Oh, I don't want to spoil it for you. I'll let you. If you
No,
if you're
whatever.
gonna
Go ahead,
watch
man.
it,
Go ahead and say it.
just essentially how with like Transformers, how there's like two different lines that they brought them over from Japan, and then because I think they said it was two different. I don't know if it was a cartoon line or a series lines, and essentially they brought them over. So like there's like the smaller ones and the bigger ones for the Transformers, if you will, and they were two different things, and they brought them over and made them just Transformers when they brought them over to North America, if you will. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Different little transforming robot series, like Diaclone was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Diaclone and Microchange.
Yeah, I was going to say Micromasters, but I knew it was something along those lines. But one of the cool things that they showed that like I had like that's fairly common knowledge if you've looked anything up with Transformers. But like they show like the old building where they used to make the Transformers and some of the old molds, so that was pretty cool to see. Like the original Optimus Prime mold, I think, is in there.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that episode's worth watching.
It sounds like from what I've heard that people seem to find the episode in the release because they were doing like what they're 4 at a time.
Well,
it seems like people are gravitating toward the episode that they're least interested in, right? Like people are like the Barbie one's really cool, or apparently the Hello Kitty one is supposed to be like really like informational, and so I have not watched any of them yet.
The Hello Kitty one didn't come off as a toy one to me. It was more of just like Hello Kitty stuff.
Merch.
Yeah, it was more Hello Kitty merch. I realize it's huge, but I didn't see too many toys, if you will. But my one complaint I've said before about the Star Trek one, it seems like mostly it wasn't about like them having famous toys. It's just that they've had nothing but shitty toys their entire, and
Star Trek on it.
Yeah. So, heyo. So, I don't know. That's the one thing if they did because they did Star Wars the first season, which I've always realized was huge. And when I was recently at that other toy store, there was a guy going nuts buying Star Wars crap. So it's there's ones like He-Man was good.
He-Man was my favorite of the series.
That was a good one. I think they talked with Tom Kalinske. I think on that one too. The guy who was former president of Sega of America. I think. Because I know he worked for Mattel before he came to Sega. So I was surprised because I know he worked for Barbie too. At least according to that Console Wars book, he was like I think vice president of the Barbie line for a minute there too, and then they bumped him down to Micro Machines or something.
Yeah, I've only watched the Transformers and Star Wars episodes of those, but I've wanted to go back to the other ones.
He-Man was good. G.I. Joe was good. Even though like these are toys that were just a little bit before my time, they were still pretty good.
Yeah, I assume most of the episodes are fairly interesting.
I think they originally only planned to do 8, so that's why they split up. They did 4, and then it was such a huge success. I think they're going to do another 8, where they're going to release a set of 4, and then a set of 4 after that, and then they're going to be done. So,
looking forward to Duke's next episode.
That's right. Did he say when? I saw like he put up the image of it, but did he say when it's releasing or
no?
Oh, just
I've got to guess it might be Saturday, but
sure. Try to get in on that NES Complex territory.
I mean, make it appointment viewing. Make people know when it's coming.
Make it like a Saturday morning cartoon where you get up and it's right there for you.
Yeah. And then you get pictures of people drinking their coffee and watching it, or.
Mm-hmm. I still haven't watched because what's it called? Didn't they release a new episode? Retro Liberty, of our not so much Retro Liberty, but the NES Pursuit is back. If anything.
Yeah, it was they were at a flea market and just showed them walking through.
That was it. They didn't. Was it a new episode?
No, it was a new episode, but it was more subdued than
Not
the
as
other
highly
was.
produced.
It wasn't crazy edited like Aaron's families.
No, there were some of those little like interjections with like the Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still any word of what happened? Like, do you guys know anything about that?
I don't.
I think it was mostly like why they stopped.
Yeah, why
I
they
think it was
stopped.
mostly that Aaron was just kind of like, it was distracting from like family and other life stuff, and he just made the decision to shut it down and concentrate on that.
Because they have their new channel now, and I almost wonder if they wanted to stay away from it. Because to me, it seems like it's more towards a younger for younger viewing, if you will. And
Yeah. What's the new channel?
Superhero
Game Squad, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's him and like 4 or 5 other guys, and it's like a little like mini network kind of thing that they've got going.
I could see if he had to stop it for his family, but why eliminate the whole YouTube
Why
channel?
nuke it? Yeah,
I think it was just kind of a rash decision. He had to shut it down and just walk away from it, but he didn't think about like saving the videos. So
I mean,
it's more like-
thankfully there was somebody else out there who had like the first 72 of them or something.
Yeah.
So those are archived.
Yeah, and probably the other ones, other people had them somehow. They were on what was the other site they had it on? One of the other streaming sites.
Daily Motion.
Yeah. Did that have newer ones or?
I'm not sure if that was current or not. The moment that happened, I think people went into like rapid fire, like saved these things for posterity.
Yeah.
Like if they needed to, like if they were ever in like a money crunch, putting those things out on DVD would sell like crazy.
Yeah, it was a good show.
It was a very good show. Yeah.
I think I downloaded like 24 of them when everyone was just kind of mad dashing to get them. I was going to download all of them, but I just stopped at some point. Not due to lack of interest, I just kind of fell off of doing it.
You're like, if I need them, somebody will get them.
Yep.
I was gonna say now that I think about it, we probably should start a Cartridge Club Daily Motion website just to be safe. Make sure no one gets that name.
Does Daily Motion actually?
I thought you said just in case like P1 decides to go nuke the channel or something. He wouldn't do that.
Is he out for his tour yet? Sorry for that.
No, don't worry about it.
Is P1 out on his tour yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Mid July.
Yeah.
But him and P2 did their last record
On Saturday.
on Saturday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The last one with them hosting.
Right.
Yes.
They got one more to be on.
Yes, this is true. It's going to be weird recording that one first, but whatever. We'll make it work.
Scheduling.
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole reason it has to happen the way it happened is because he's going. So, yeah.
Sorry for that. Do you remember what you were going to say?
Yeah, I was just I thought we were going to get into some dead air for a second there, so I was going to transition to see if anyone else had watched Luke Cage season 2.
I did.
I didn't even know it was out.
Came out on Friday.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Is it worth checking out?
Yeah, it's really good actually.
I liked it better than the first season.
Yeah, it's overall probably one of the better seasons. Like there are still seasons that might be like favorites off and on depending on like which one you enjoyed the most. But just like in terms of production and writing, and just the plot is pretty interesting of it. It goes in a way that I wasn't expecting it to, and like a lot of people were like, I wish they went more into like Heroes for Hire, like in the comics. But it's like I'm actually kind of glad they didn't, because I'm more interested by where they left it off. That wasn't that, but I can see it also leading into that later, like another season or two down the line.
I think they said they might do more of that in Iron Fist as well.
That would make sense.
Fire stuff. So
Yeah.
I was about to ask if they're doing a second season of Iron Fist.
they are. They got a different.
Good. I actually enjoyed it, so I hope they do.
Yeah, they got a different showrunner. Like that.
Good.
That guy left to go do the Inhumans on ABC.
Yeah, I think
Which also turned out to be like. You also turned out to be like one that people generally didn't like.
Yeah, they don't want to go over 3 strikes with that guy. They just got him out.
He's been kicked out to the curb. So
yeah, but Iron Fist does appear in an episode of Luke Cage season 2, and they change him up in a good way.
Yeah, they even kind of say there's a part in there where they're like something different about you. He's like, he's just like, what can I say?
You're not a raging douche. What happened?
What can I say? It's one of those moments. But
yeah,
no, I liked what they did more with Danny Rand on this personally too. So that made me happy.
And a lot of interesting other character stuff. The one like major issue with Luke Cage, and it's not to say Luke Cage is a bad character or anything, but just for the caliber of people on the show, every single character is more interesting than Luke Cage is.
Yeah, there's definitely times where it can be kind of boring sometimes on his show, but
he's still an interesting character. It's just like with Black Mariah and Misty Knight and all those other characters, like they're really interesting and really well acted. So it's just kind of like
my only thing I would say I complain about this season. It seems like I don't want to compare it to a Power Rangers episode, but like every episode seems like we're gonna go to this factory here. Oh, there's bad guys in them. Let's fight them. It seems
they just walk into monster closets essentially.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like every episode has something like that. And I'm like, I don't know if essentially everything needs to have the scene needs to be in there every time, basically, with Luke with Misty, Luke with, this person, Luke with this person. And I'm like, and essentially everyone's like, all right, I got you back. But after this, we're going our own ways. And they seem like they do it like every episode. There's a part like that. It's not, breaking, but that was always like, okay, you got another one of these here.
Yeah. I never really picked up on that, but I can see that complaint.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of corny dialogue, which I enjoyed for the most part, but it's like they're hit or miss, and boy, some of them miss.
And that's the thing is, that's another good complaint I would say for it, and it's not like a complete
critique. It's not a complaint so much.
A critique is when you're trying to take a show serious, and then you do something like that. Like I understand it's a comic book, but like. I don't like when I guess if you I say I rather have you either be one way or the other. I don't mind jokes. Jokes are fine, but like dialogue, if you will, when you're taking yourself so serious and then you have something that just seems like it's out of place, like it doesn't fit. Yeah. I felt like a couple times like that.
I didn't think it was so much stuff that didn't fit the show because they established that Luke is kind of a goofball in the dialogue, but it's just like a couple of the jokes didn't land is all I was really saying. And there was a lot of play on words, which I enjoy, but like a couple of them did fall flat. Like there's one line I really liked that shouldn't have worked, but I don't want to spoil it just because it's depending on who is seeing it, it can land really well.
I didn't realize the actor that played his father passed away apparently too.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah, that was kind of a sad thing to see in the credits of the last episode.
I really know him mostly from Pootie Tang, though. He plays Dirty D. Great movie.
Never seen it.
Didn't Louis C.K. write that movie, or did he?
He directed it. I think him and Chris Rock wrote it together or something like that. But then I know essentially as he did it, and then I guess the studio edited it and changed it more. Where I think he's unhappy with it because they changed a lot of what he did. So, but I still like it. I think it's funny. Definitely one of those movies that I don't think I liked the first time, but the more I watch it, it's one of those. I think the dumber it is, it grows on you then over time.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any topics?
The speed run's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got one Metroid left. That Predator trailer came out today.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that. How was it?
We can talk about this. That's so. I would almost advise people to watch it first because I don't think it's a very good trailer. My buddies think it's kind of. I think it can be awesomely bad. This movie, like Alien versus Predator.
You're gonna need a better comparison than that to have it be a positive comparison.
So if you want me to spoil the trailer for you, I can spoil the trailer for you because essentially I think the trailer gives away like the big plot twist.
Okay, so it's
in the trailer.
Terminator Genesis trailer number 2.
So I don't know if you want me to spoil that for anybody who's really interested in seeing the movie. So I'm just giving you fair warning here. But essentially that besides the one predator, there's like a bigger predator.
Yeah, I kind of got that from the poster.
So
if you want, I can just kind of mute and watch it quickly, and then we can go back to that.
Then we want to get your live reaction.
Yeah.
No context. Just.
I saw it today too. I wasn't blown away by it, only because I think I just haven't been blown away by a lot of the last few Predator/Aliens movies.
Yeah, the only one I still say this that Alien versus Predator 2 is the second best Predator movie in the Predator series.
The Requiem?
Requiem? Oh yeah. It's so
delightfully bad.
It's bad, but it's so like over the top violent.
Yeah.
I love it. You know.
Which one was Requiem? Was that the one in the
that's the sequel? That's the sequel for Alien vs. Predator.
That's the one where in the first one
in the Arctic?
No, but like in the first one the ship's flying away and they've got like the hybrid alien coming out of the Predator. And in the second one it literally picks up, something breaks and the planet crashes right back down on Earth.
No, because there's an alien predator hybrid. It's the xenomorph. Yeah, and it crashes it into like probably like Oregon or something like that, or Colorado.
Yeah, so, like one of the guys from Rescue Me in it. Yeah. And it's just like literally following this teenager that's delivering pizzas, and it's like the unpopular guy and is in love with the popular girl, and they go to the pool at night, and it's so freaking corny. It's just like teen slasher movie, but delightful.
Oh yeah, the pregnant lady in the hospital is like the best scene ever too.
And that one acid scene, Jesus, the effects were really good in that movie for the budget they had.
I think what it is the two guys. It's like a brother team directing team that did it. Is that they were just special effects artists. So like they just said, okay, do whatever you want. So like so essentially that's what the movie is them like. I guess kind of showing off what they could do with special effects, you know, with like props and everything, you know. So,
do you think it's the fact that humans are involved that sort of takes away from the movies and makes it a bit more silly? Whereas, what if they had done it just strictly Predator versus like Alien or Predator versus something non-human?
It'd be a quiet movie, right? I mean, like it would just be like growls and hisses or something, if you will, you know. So.
It just seems the human element always,
you
know, sort of not dumbs it down, but sort of makes it
complicates things.
Yeah.
I would agree in something like a Godzilla movie, but for Predator, it's kind of always that human conflict with the aliens.
Well, the problem with Alien vs. Predator, the first one, is so there's that scene. Well, it sucks, but there's the scene where the girl is like, "Hey, Predator, I saved you. What are you gonna do for me?" And then he makes her like a shield and a spear, and like, you know, it makes it give her a little J on her face, makes her a junior Predator, you know. And he says, you know, and he says, come on. And then like there's a scene where they're riding the sled up together out of the Antarctic and they're fighting, you know. So that's stupid. It's terrible. It's
I swear this was a fabricated memory, but I remembered it just like after seeing it in the theater. I remembered them hugging.
I just remember like I think there's a scene where he gives her a thumbs up. I think like she saves him like from the xenomorph and he's just like you know, it's like, kind of I might be I've only seen it like twice, but like to me that like is something that's in my head. I could be dreaming that part.
Yeah.
But essentially, Alien vs Predator 2, there's no, it's almost everyone for themselves. And essentially, if you're gonna put humans in this universe, I don't want them teaming up with predators or aliens. I want like, you know, mass chaos from everything, you know.
So it seems so. To go into the trailer,
I'm gonna mute so I can watch this trailer.
Okay, okay. I'll talk then, and you can insert your commentary once you're back. But it seems like from this trailer that is kind of the dynamic that they're setting up. That they're gonna have the humans, and then the predator is the bad to them, and then all of a sudden the
senior predator,
the bigger bad comes, and then
senior predator, if you will.
But and maybe I need to watch it again to see if it's like now do these two team up, or is it does it become the humans kind of get pushed to the side and now it's these two like
I don't want to see that
duking it out like
I don't want to see those creatures fighting each other. I want to see them like fighting humans, if you will, you know. But to me, the trailers, I watched it twice. It seems to me like that the Omega Predator, if you will, is about killing the Predator and the humans. And, you know, I don't know if the Predator was hiding him on the ship or something like that, or what, you know. But I heard the idea. I heard it on Twitter today. It's not an original idea, but it was described as what they have in the writing room, as they call it. It's a hat on a hat situation. And by that it means is like a hat on your head is cool, but another hat on it is a bad idea. Like, so if you're wearing a hat on a hat, it's not a good idea. You know, it's you know, sure, things, you know, you think more of something is better when actually it's not. It's, you know, and I think that probably describes it the best, if you will, you know. But I'll probably see it. Just I don't know. Probably not day one. It might be like a budget see, you know, or Fire Stick watch. I mean, I've heard decent things about Rampage. I haven't checked that out yet. I know it's on the Fire Stick.
I saw a tweet that somebody said they've been just in all of the Rock's movies, they've been renaming them Dwayne Johnson versus, and then the title of the movie.
The Rampage.
Dwayne, yeah. It was like Dwayne Johnson versus the skyscraper.
The Jumanji?
Like Dwayne Johnson versus the Jumanji.
I like Jumanji. I thought it was good.
I enjoyed that a lot. I thought it was better than the first one.
I need to watch
What?
it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I watched the one previously before seeing it, and it's okay, but it's not my favorite. I like Robin Williams. It's not my favorite Robin Williams movie. You know, I'll take Hook and I'll take Mrs. Doubtfire over Jumanji, if you will. You know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I really enjoyed the new Jumanji, if you will. Not granted, I've only seen it once, but I had a good time watching it. So. And I guess there was an homage. There's a part in it too where I think they reference Robin Williams' character in it too.
Well,
I can't remember.
They show like the part where Alan. This is like Alan was here.
Yeah,
and it's referencing the first one from when he was stuck in Jumanji in the game.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Samus Returns, an hour and 47 minutes.
Okay, I had to put it on my iPad so I could mute the computer without like muting the Hangout for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But meh, it's just it doesn't look bad, but I just am not really all that enthused about it.
I think that's general. I don't think there's anyone really excited to see it. You know,
This is a standalone Predator movie. It's not Predator versus Aliens.
no, it's actually supposed to be. I think if Alien took place, but not Alien 2, it's supposed to be a sequel to the first Predator. I'm sorry, Alien, the first Predator movie. It's kind of like what they're doing with Halloween, where Halloween 2 doesn't take place.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sequel to it.
So it's a sequel to the first Predator movie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you can tell because there's Yo Mama jokes because it's written by Shane Black. That was a terrible joke, by the way. That was
The E for everyone.
Yeah, that was so bad.
I've also saw someone mention that, like, I don't know if I want to see, you know, what's it called, Key from Key and Peele, basically, you know, trying to be a tough guy in an action movie, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of see that too, but
yeah, I hope it's fun at least. But I think it's just, with both Alien and Predator, and potentially Halloween, just all these movies that are just kind of going back to square one. It's like there's a reason you need to go back to square one. Because your movie concept only worked once or twice at the most, like once for everything but Alien, and then Aliens, and then after that, it's like nothing was good.
What's it called? I think James Rolfe put out a Halloween video like a week ago, and I think he kind of described it best, kind of why with what they're doing a little bit, because it's been, you know, drugged through the dirt so many times, basically with like after Halloween 6, there's like 2 versions of Halloween 6. You know, there's like one where he gets his niece pregnant. It's, you know, it's stuff like that where it's like so convoluted and stupid. It's like you have to hit the reset button, you know?
Yeah. Or they could have gone the anthology route like they tried to do with the first third movie.
Oh, like with what's it called? Silver Shamrock?
The Season of the Witch or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Which would have made more sense. But like I think those concepts, they only really worked once or twice in most of those cases.
It's an idea. And, you know, I mean, you're probably right. It's like the original idea works, you know, like I thought the first Saw was fine. You know, I thought it was a good one. And same thing with let's call maybe the first Purge movie. Now they're like on Purge 4 now, and I'm not gonna see it. It's, you know.
I tapped out with Saw 6 because of just cringe factor with the opening scene. But I thought the actual ongoing arc, as far as like corny horror movie arcs go, like going throughout all the different Saw movies, I actually thought that was fairly well done and interesting. As far as that goes, like how they do like all the different people getting captured and what the behind the scenes of that is. I enjoyed that at the time.
I think you have 2 choices. You can either, you know, you can go one way or you can go the other way with it. You can go the Nightmare on Elm Street route with it, or it gets more comical as it goes on, or try to keep the same, I guess, serious tone to it. Yeah. I don't know if I mean, personally, I kind of enjoyed the Nightmare on Elm Street route more, you know, because I think it changes it a little bit more, as opposed to getting more convoluted and messy. But whatever.
I think maybe the reason like the Terminator movies work a little better and other movies kind of like that work a little better, and Saw, is because it's like you're following the same characters as they keep running into like these different situations, or some characters are the same and they carry on and you follow their arc, but there's like other different characters that come in, so you're following a continuing story rather than just like, well, it's different people again, and it's like you're just hitting reboot every single time.
I still haven't seen Terminator Sega Genesis yet. I've heard mixed. I've heard mixed things about it, where either people like it or they don't like it. So
I like the idea of it, but it wasn't executed very well.
I'll see it. It's just I haven't watched it yet. You know.
Yeah, but that one I think it only really worked twice. Too.
Who said they liked it? Was it someone said they liked it in this chat?
Oh, I liked it. The Genesis.
Yeah. I've heard from at least 2 people. They said they really liked it. I was interested in it because the trailer seemed interesting to me. So
yeah, huge spoiler in the second trailer, but I think that's the reason most people saw it, which is kind of like this weird give and take on that. It's like, well, it sucks that it was spoiled, but a lot of people wouldn't have gone to see it had they not seen that.
It wasn't like Doomsday in Batman versus or Superman versus Batman.
That probably made less people go see that movie.
That was very disappointing seeing that in that trailer. I was like, well, I was gonna see this before. Why'd you leak this big thing here? But
Well, at least you prepared you for more disappointment later on.
Didn't need to be there.
Didn't need to be in the movie.
No. Bye, Dean.
Okay, now that Dean's gone, we can show the shelves again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the 5th time.
Cat's being noisy.
That's the mascot.
It's good. So here's the question. I've got all my loose carts here. Do I put the Genesis and the Master System loose carts here? Probably should, right?
Let's ask the marvelous mighty Q-Dog what he thinks about where you put the Master System.
You have Master System loose carts?
Yes.
Just get rid of them and get complete copies. No, why wouldn't you put them with the rest of the loose carts?
Well, I could. I got them right here.
Yeah.
Right. So I could move them over there. I got plenty of space for it.
I would leave them. I tend to organize my games by system first, and then by. I've started to do it aesthetically, where I used to do alphabetical, but then I started putting the red and the black Genesis separate. And
gotcha.
So you're loose over there. That's all Nintendo.
NES.
I see NES, N64.
Atari is here,
yeah,
across. The Tengen are here. The Super Nintendo are here.
Nah, you don't want your Master System and Genesis over there, unless you're going to put them right on that top shelf by themselves in a place of honor.
I could. To a place where I can't read the labels.
Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. No,
hey, Eric, I don't mean this in a bad way, Eric. How come your room is so messy?
This is our den. It's never been cleaned. We've still got boxes in here from when we moved. But
that's why they zoomed in the Q-Dog house video.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys, Musty's been here. Rocket Sauce has been here. They've seen it. Everything out of camera. Well, so you're seeing kind of the mess now, but on this side, which you can't really see, there's boxes everywhere. I don't know. We're trying to clean it up. We started cleaning it up a little bit, but it turns out I'd rather watch TV than clean this room. So that's what happens.
Did you finish your Millennium Falcon?
I sure did. It's in the other room though. I got to figure out what we're gonna do with it. My 6-year-old nephew's coming. My brother is coming in from Chicago to visit with us over the 4th of July, and he's got a 6-year-old my 6-year-old nephew. I can't have him going anywhere near that thing, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it before he gets here.
Put it up high,
get like a big glass display case, and put like security around it, like laser grid to protect the thing.
I got to put it somewhere high where he's not
Slide
going
it
to
under
be able to see it.
under the bed. Under the bed.
I could, yeah. As long as he doesn't see it, he's not going to. But
It belongs in a museum.
I got to figure out what to do with it. I was going to maybe hang it on a wall or something.
You remember what the final hour count was?
It was around 23. Oh, it was almost 24. I think it was just a few minutes shy of 24 hours.
Yeah. Was that you like just taking your time, enjoying yourself doing it, or were you just like?
I was. I think I told
you could
this
have
to
done
somebody.
it faster, right? Obviously,
I might have. Yeah, I didn't include this in the time, but I like took out like every bag. I arranged all the pieces in every bag and took a picture so I'd know exactly which pieces came out of which bag. But when I was putting it together, I was making sure to arrange. If you guys know what Legos look like, they have the word Lego stamped on each of the dots, on each of the circles. So I was making sure that like all of those, like when I could arrange them, they were all arranged in the same direction. So that took more time than it needed.
How many pieces was that thing?
7,500 or something like that.
Did you put it together all yourself? No,
Yeah. It was something I wanted to do. I thought maybe I'd get the kids or maybe my wife, but in the end, I was selfish and decided that this is something I want to do by myself. Yeah. There's like 100 spare pieces though. I got a bag of all these little. I don't think I made a mistake. I think
No,
they're just
that's
little
normal.
bits of giblets they give you.
That's normal,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah,
for something that size.
I immediately like the secluded building of the Falcon. I immediately thought of like people building those like bottles in the ships.
Mm-hmm. Well. Yeah, it's
Just
fun.
in the bottles. Yeah,
The,
that
su-
makes up there for
the
some
Super Metroid run just started, in case anyone cared to know.
What's that? Who's doing Super Metroid?
Games done quick.
Oh, yeah. What is this Games Done Quick? I saw Travis post about. Is this something they do like 24 hours for the?
They
It's
do
a
it
whole
for
week.
straight 24 hours. So every it's it goes all the way to Saturday night at midnight. Basically, is when it ends. It started Sunday morning, and goes all the way. And they try to raise as much money for charity. The summer charity is for Doctors Without Borders, and then the one in the winter time, because they do it twice a year. The one in the winter time is to fight cancer. So
Is it anybody I'd know, or is it just people from this thing? Is it people from Games Done Quick?
No, it's just all random speedrunners, basically from
It's
whatever.
speedrunners.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I think they broke 1 million in their last one, didn't they?
yeah.
2
2
million.
million? Okay.
$1 million raised? You mean dollars raised or
Yes.
viewers? Whoa.
Dollars raised.
Wow.
It really is fascinating because these people are like the best at what they do. With for running this stuff. So sometimes
These people have like dedicated discords to just the speedrunning community for that specific game and swapping strats all the time and stuff like that. It's fascinating.
the last one they did in the wintertime, they did one there were the guy showed for people watching, he got a guy who's never played Strider on the NES and he showed him how to speedrun it basically, and the guy beat it in 13 minutes, I think. After learning the strats that he needed to learn.
There's a pretty big exploit in that game where you can
Go
kind
through
of
the walls.
glitch it to go
Yeah.
through. Yeah.
But that was cool because the guy was like, I wasn't expecting this to be beaten so fast, basically. They gave it an hour and the guy did it within 15 minutes or something.
It's interesting because they got to practice, X amount of times a week. So I wonder how many of them ever decide to, take on a second or maybe third game and try and master more than one,
They do because you'll see. So the guy who beat Kid Chameleon today was the guy who taught the guy who beat Strider. So you usually see one or two guys maybe. What's that one guy who's really good at?
The guy who did Majora's Mask 3D on Sunday is doing Skyward Sword later tonight. So I mean, he's apparently quite good. I have no idea who any of these names are. I don't recognize any of them. Some of them are just streamers, and that's all they stream is
I should look. There's a couple I recognize TMR. He's pretty. He's one. He's really good at it. He only plays NES games, and he destroys them. He's just really really good. So he's one of those guys that I always look for. And there's a couple other guys that. I don't know. If I don't maybe know them by name, but if you see them, you might recognize them. I know they got some girl did the reason why Games Done Quick was trending at whatever 11 o'clock last time they did this was because someone was speedrunning Superman 64.
I watched that.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Yeah, that was the number one trend on Twitter, so that was pretty funny. So
36 minutes, I think.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
too long.
Yeah, it's not an easy game though because it's completely broken. So
I meant too long for any sane person to play it.
I always wanted to go to this one, because this one, the summer one, is done in Minneapolis, and I could probably stay with my buddy Chris just to go to it. and I think the winter one's somewhere on the East Coast. I'm not 100% on that one.
I think you're right. Something says like Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? You pay for your admission, and then that allows you to see whatever games are played that particular day or anytime during the week.
I think what it is you submit. If you say you're that good, you submit that you can speed run this game in this timeline. So they will map out when they map out the schedule that they can place in by like, okay, this game takes 10 minutes to beat. This one takes 30 minutes to beat. This one takes an hour. So they can fill out a day for their schedule. So you have to submit that like months in advance so they can put out a schedule together.
They have like a dedicated location where they do this at?
Yeah, it's like a convention center. But it's basically they have like one screen going and an audience.
If you ever tune in like at 2 a.m, there's like nobody watching. So there's always just like 3 people on a couch and just the guy doing it basically. And then there's commentators who are reading off when people donate money, like, oh, this one's going towards the Castlevania Bloodlines run for John Morris, that plays him. Or, like little stuff like that.
Or like the one they have right now is like you get to name the save file on Skyward Sword. So like biggest donation.
Money goes towards that. And then there's raffles like you were saying too.
It's interesting. It's I mean,
like I said, I stayed up I was still up at midnight on Sunday and I was watching the guy break Ninja Gaiden because that's when they started their NES block. And I was like, well, this one's only going to take 10 minutes to do. I can watch that in 10 minutes. And then I think they did Gimmick after that and a few others. I was like, why? They should put that on earlier because I want to watch all those games. I don't, there's always a couple dumb games where I'm not going to watch. So I'll come back later.
There's been some like indie titles and things like that. What's left? You were looking at the schedule already.
I'm always hunting for videos to watch, so I'll watch everything they put out.
Just look at the schedule, and I would say, because like I said, usually they go up the next day after they aired.
The Resident Evil 4 run was awesome. I will say that. That was impressive. Because he beat it in an hour and 36 minutes.
Pete Dorr's going to run something? Pete Dorr's running tomorrow at 11:48 tomorrow a.m. He's doing Spider-Man Web of Fire for the 32X. I didn't realize Pete Dorr speed runs. So TMR's doing Cuphead. So must you check that one out tomorrow.
Yeah, all flags.
TMR is really good. So
well, Halo's on after this. Halo 2.
Yeah. Pete Dorr's doing Club Drive too for the Jaguar. I'm just looking over all the people who are doing here. If anyone catches my name. What else here? That's interesting. I mean, I always interested in it. Someone, I forget who was talking about trying to. Who does?
So Adam, replayability. Now he's a doctor. He does Star Tropics, and he totally should be.
Doesn't he have like a record for it or something?
He's
like that,
he has the third fastest time in the world, and streams it regularly.
For which game?
Star Tropics.
Oh, okay. That would be an interesting speedrun to watch.
Yeah, it's impressive to see what he does and just pattern recognition and all that stuff. I don't know. There's a lot going on. But sometimes it just comes down to like luck. Like they talk about random number generation and stuff like that. Like if it's just they just got a bad pattern, and it can ruin an entire run.
Sorry, I need to step away again for a second.
Sure. Should go back to the NES block to see if TMR did any of those games here. No. Yeah, I think essentially you almost don't ever see, unless there's like a new strategy where like they'll be like, hey, this guy, like you might have seen me run this like 2 years ago, but there's a new strategy now that we can save like 12 minutes by doing this one thing. You really don't see the same runner doing the same game over and over again. There's usually a new person running the game, or there might be a different reason why they're running the game.
Or a different like goal, right? Like this time they're doing, this time for Super Metroid, they're doing 100% of the map coverage, which is not just, beat the game fast.
And one of the old ones, one of the reasons I was able to beat Friday the 13th for the NES, I watched one from like 2000, a Games Done Quick from like 2012, where the guy did it. Where, no, I didn't do it in 7 minutes. It took me like 6 hours of practicing, but it wasn't glitching. It was just kind of like, this is how you get the I guess the torch, if you will, because that's like the one weapon that really hurts Jason the most. This is the pattern how to trigger them here. So like the majority of the things that he said were correct and they helped a lot. And then I had to go to GameFAQs to get the GameFAQs actually had a map pattern of how Jason moves. So you can tell by where he's attacking a cabin, which is the pattern he goes on. So if you can catch him on the road, it's easier to fight him on the road than it is inside a cabin. So little strategies like that, like their video did help, and then like I said, GameFAQs was like the other missing piece that I think I needed to help beat me, let me beat the game. So
Cygnus Destroyer did a good video on the Friday the 13th on like how to play it.
With the torch and everything. I didn't get the sweater. That's like an unnecessary step. I know you take less damage, but you have to really keep moving because Jason will take out everybody. You need everyone, like, if you can get everyone alive on the last day, you're probably going to beat it.
So what do you think the technique is to be a speedrunner? Are they obviously they're watching what other people have done, memorizing those techniques, but then when it comes to playing, are they doing it on the actual hardware, or are they doing it like through an emulator or something where they can keep doing the same section over and over until they master it?
It mostly is, from my perspective, if it's a classic game, it's on the original hardware, because I've seen the pictures of the setups. They have the setups, but I've seen it before too. Not 100% of the time, but like I've seen it where like, and these are mostly the older ones where like they'll maybe do a Castlevania block, but it's the same guy running it, but they'll have like a Wii set up with all the Castlevania games or something like that. Where they'll just like, okay, well, I have not the Pro controller for the Wii, but they'll just play with that.
Classic controller.
The classic controller, yeah. So, but I haven't seen that in a while. And most of the time, like you can see like which one they're playing from on this list here. What they're playing on. I know majority of the time it's PC if they can, because you can cut out the save. Well, if you say if you have a solid state drive, and then you can what's it called, cut out the cutscenes, if you will, by doing that stuff where you can quick cancel the game, come back, and you're already out of the cutscene, back in the game. Then so there's little things like that, but classic games is mostly on original hardware because of the glitches. Is my guessing, though. Some of that stuff might get patched out somewhere down the road.
Isn't there kind of two different schools of thought with the speedrunning? Like guys or people that do it just like straight no glitching, and then others doing it like to exploit just as fast as you possibly can, no matter what you're doing.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. Well, and then there's tool assisted, and then there's non-tool assisted as well. So like there's some people who build like macros to simplify things. And
well, wasn't there a guy last year who beat near ending A with his foot or something like that? Didn't he do the whole run with his foot or one-handed? He did something like that. I think he did it one-handed actually. And I think about it.
I didn't see it, but
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise
so,
me.
so there's strategies like that too, and it's, if it's unique.
But for what it's worth, if you can navigate the menus in that game and turn on all of the like auto stuff, then that should be a relatively easy beat. If that's what he did.
Yeah.
Hey, Sauce, did you see they're doing Halo 2 after Super Metroid?
Yeah.
Get some tips.
Nah. I already beat it.
Show you how to drive a Warthog?
No. There's no Warthog in the second one, is there? Is there?
There is.
I don't remember it.
There's a warthog in all of them.
Well, it must have been better than the first one because I remember not swearing as much as I did. The only time I swear is because in the second one is because the Master Chief Collection crashed on me at least 4 times while playing it. So,
well, the big difference is that there's a horn on the Warthog in the second one, so you actually do have something to use your right trigger for.
There you go.
Trying to tell you that you're not supposed to press that. For gas.
So what's the next good game after this one here, I guess?
We got a pretty good list this year.
Yeah. I was watching that Amy game or whatever it was this morning. It looks like it's completely broken.
Freeze me. I saw the freeze one before I went to work.
They're actually doing they're doing Catherine this year. That'd be interesting.
That game is tough.
Like, are they just doing Tower of Babel or what? Or are they doing the main game, like just with the cutscenes and everything?
Well, I mean, a lot of the times they're skipping cutscenes.
Yeah.
Babel. No, it's Babel.
Yeah,
Babel
I think that would be
pairs 1 player, 2 controller.
The last game they're doing is Final Fantasy VI, and that's glitchless.
In what, 7 hours? Yeah, 7 hours is their projected.
For Final Fantasy VI?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Is that the last game too, right?
That's the last one, yeah. That'll be a good one. That one and the that Cuphead one's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out for TMR. That's cool. It's 7 in the morning. When I get up, I'll probably see Splatterhouse then. Splatterhouse 2. Should be interesting ones. I thought that Super Monkey Ball 2 one was a race, but I don't know if they met their incentive to do it as a race.
If someone's doing Super Empire Strikes Back. Saturday at 2:40 in the morning.
So speaking of games, Musty, you said you're not playing any right now?
I haven't really been able to. Axiom Verge took a lot out of me.
Did you have any on the go before the move? Like,
I didn't
starting fresh.
Where am I at this point? I finished. Like, things synced up really well to where, like, I finished Axiom Verge and then I was going to start Link's Awakening and then didn't.
Boo.
Sorry. Priorities. Sorry. And so I just haven't started the next thing yet. And because it's just been.
What's that going to be?
Street Fighter 2 or
Super Mario World I need to play through for August.
Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2, yeah. I mean, I will play some Street Fighter 2. I don't know that, like, what's the beat? Somebody ask, what is the beat condition for Street Fighter 2?
Beat M. Bison.
That's it.
Yep. There's a challenge. You do the arcade challenge. He's the last boss.
Sure.
and that's it.
Is that? I mean, does that get you credits?
Yeah, I mean, you saw what's it called? Chris Roberts did it yesterday. He put up the picture with Ryu and then M Bison. It's like a kind of like the Olympic podium, if you will, basically, where it was Ryu, M Bison, and Sagat.
Okay. I mean, I will play more than that, obviously, for the purpose of the podcast. But yeah, I mean, let me just kind of look.
Tiger uppercut.
I actually went into the forums. Amazing, right? And
What?
And what's that? And looked at the CCABC list because Miles posted to his. I went and updated mine and realized that I'm further along than I thought I would be. And I haven't had nearly as much overlap as I did last year. Granted, I still need 16 games to go, but it doesn't seem quite as unrealistic as once I can get the ball rolling with it. So I was looking at like, what are some of the tough letters like for you? I was probably going to play one of the Uncharted games, or I was looking through the NES titles, and it's like, well, Vice Project Doom is a V. I have it. I should play it. I kind of want to actually play some of these because now they're staring at me and saying, "Why haven't you played me yet?"
Well, you could always play Battlefield V, or you could play Street Fighter V. This you got a few choices you could do there.
Rather just play
Or a game that actually starts with V.
Rules is
Or-
rules,
yeah.
Rules is rules.
I already played Vanquish, and you should too. But yeah, it's now that I have things out, because I mean, all this stuff has been packed away since February. It's like, oh yeah,
I remember you.
I forgot about you. But yeah, and I mean, at the same time, trying to plan for club games going forward too. And so I was gonna maybe I can use you guys as a focus group for a second here. I'm curious what it is that what makes a good club game in your guys' eyes. Sorry to put you on the spot, but
So many things.
A game that I have access to.
so access is important.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I look at a month like this one, right? We had two really solid games. Like some people, Kevin in particular, was like, this is probably one of the best 1-2 punches that we've had thus far, with Axiom Verge and Link's Awakening. It's like, it would be awesome if we could have that kind of magic every month. I realize that might not
The
happen.
thing is, that's just in Kevin's mind, in his opinion, that it is. It's not every month is going to appeal to everybody, and that's just the way we have to look at it. Is the bros approach has always been to play games that they want to play. So
sure. I'm just trying to think of it from an angle of
if we're doing a show, we have to play the games that probably we want to play, regardless. Even if we never play it, and I'm a big believer, like Bill said, that honestly, and I will be 100% honest with you, basically too. I think it's fine to have someone on the show who might not like the game, and I'm not saying deliberately hates the game. I'm talking about like this is their first time playing it and they didn't enjoy the game.
We've had a few.
As opposed to having 5 people who all love the game,
Sure.
Yeah.
And we
got
actually had that with Halo. That was actually something that happened to work out that way.
I think it'd be fun to pick a game that's sort of like, like those hidden gems where not a lot of people have played it. So you get a group of people that come together that no one's played the game at all, and you get their opinion on it.
Yeah. Or just otherwise games that people may have missed, like Klonoa was one I was thinking of the other day.
You always bring up that Klonoa game. You want that to be a
good.
fun game. I know.
It's
You
good.
just always
It's
bring that
hard
one
to
up.
find. It's hard to find on PS1, like physical. It's expensive, but you can get it on PS3.
So
and there's
that's
the remake on Wii.
one thing we have
More
to.
common.
That's one of the things we have to. When looking for something like a hidden gem, is it accessible? It's we don't want someone playing like.
Well, there's a difference between something that's so scarce that it's going to be unattainable for people, and it just being, unknown.
Yeah, it's unattainable on original hardware, but like on PS3, you can get a PS1 Classic $6 or less in the US, maybe.
Yeah. I don't mean a game that's super rare or expensive, but just one that you maybe never have thought of playing.
Oh boy,
or you're even heard of, right?
Look who's back. I haven't seen this guy in forever.
Well.
How does this thing work?
The Prince returns here.
Gotta hold it this way.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey, we got a shelf cast return here. Look at this.
Yeah, there we go.
Talking about those shelves all that time earlier in the episode. Summoned him.
How are you guys doing?
Not bad, Paul.
Good, Paul.
How's it going?
Yeah, look at all those shelves. I love it. You guys can use that name if you want.
What, the shelf cast?
Shelfcast 2. Yeah.
Shelf cast reborn.
Yeah, there you go. Shelfcast reshelved.
There you go.
Live to shelf another day.
You got to bring that back, man. We could talk all shelves. We were having a shelf cast earlier here, so
Nice.
good discussion on it.
Guess I'll go back and watch it now.
Probably that first hour or so.
Anyway,
it wasn't that long.
Your rhythm of things, but yeah, just I meant to jump in one of these years.
How long has it been? A year?
Been a while. Been a long time.
It's been a while.
Hockey season goes on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the 1 month it's not in play anymore, right?
Lots of stuff going on. Yeah, well, it's been all good stuff. So, I see a lot of guys end up, you don't hear from him for a while. You're like, what happened to that guy? Oh, well, he had to sell all that he owned and move into a hut because he got fired or, family issues and stuff like that. Nothing like that. So. Mostly just busy with kids and trying not to go insane. So, yeah, built some stuff. Everybody's built new shelves. A shelf right here.
Especially shelves.
Yeah. Oh, it's a cool Turtles poster. They're rocking.
The arcade one right there.
Yeah.
Get that Midwest. Same thing with the Captain America side arcade side panel art, if you will.
West Gaming. Eric's got his you changed around your Master System setup a little bit. Brought your Sega games down, eh?
Yep. That's all Sega stuff now.
Fitnet, you still got that white wall.
Yep.
That's cool. There's Matthew. You got the what is that on the left there? What is that? Some sort of switch? That's cool.
That's the music shelf, isn't it? The now playing shelf.
Nice.
What's that?
You've got your now playing shelf. Is that what that
Oh
is?
yeah, those are just two like what I'm listening to.
Joe, you got your ever towering tower of Foster.
That hasn't changed since we did our shelf cast, man.
You've been waiting for the next episode.
I've been waiting.
And must you moved to a new place or something?
I'm in a new house. I built these.
Nice. Oh, it sounds like we gotta have a shelf cast.
There we go. I like the sound of this.
Is it called a reunion if you've only ever had one published episode?
Yes. Still counts.
I still haven't told anybody who the two people that I've recorded with pretty up their names. So maybe I'll start with
Are you gonna
that.
release it ever.
I'll have to start publishing that. Yeah. So
You'll get my download, that's for sure.
very few edits. So
It's nearly perfect, right?
your Cubbies are 7. They just hit a grand slam there.
Yeah, my wife and kids are actually at the game right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they drove down to the game. I'm about 2 hours north of LA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maddie and Musty. Yeah, sorry, I forgot you guys are both Cubbies fans.
Second place Cubbies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make sure you guys just mention that. Here.
The Brewers still tearing it up,
Yep.
doing some money ball or something.
Yep, playing that little money ball action right there. We lost a couple guys are banged up at the moment, but still rolling.
Nice. I've been playing some money ball with my slow pitch league.
Playing the percentages there,
It's low competition, but I can't help myself. I want to win. But yeah, I got 5 guys, 5 gals on the field at a time. Most guys complain they want to play all the time. So we put the ladies in strategic places, and they do a good job. So,
Do you have a bunch of ladies who used to play like fast pitch or something like that?
No, we're out of the ladies we have. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4 that are like brand new to the game. They probably played like a pickup game, at a barbecue or something. But yeah, they're pretty green. And then we got one that's played ball for most of her life. She's pretty good. She's our first baseman.
There's like 2 kinds of teams usually, from my understanding. There's the one with you have the ladies who formerly played fast pitch softball in high school.
Yeah.
And then there's the league where it's like maybe guys and their girlfriends, if you will, basically, where
yeah,
maybe they might be the ones that look the best, basically, but then they don't play the best.
Yeah.
But if you can find them like fast pitch girls, your team can probably be one of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, we're like I actually put the league together, which is a lot of work. Like I'm still debating whether I would have rather just joined the league, because I get stressed when the games come around, because I got to plan and I got to reschedule and I got to make sure they're following the rules and all that. But it's just a local for our little village here, so 4 teams, and I say it's low competition. Go the competitive route, go to the bigger cities, but yeah, it's more just about getting out and having fun. But we're on a 4-game win streak. We started out 0-3, so my money ball management has gone a long way.
You're probably like Mr. Burns there, and you run some major leaguers or something like that.
Yeah. And so you guys just buying more games, or what are your collections at these days?
Toys.
Toys, yeah.
Fuck you, O'Hare. But retro's still a thing. Just it's slowing down right now. The list is starting to come to an end.
Yeah.
But still got the newer stuff to buy. As long as they're making video games, I'm playing them.
I'm having less and less times to even just look at the games, let alone play them. So since I downsized a bunch, I haven't really felt too bad about it. I still have the ones that I want to keep, and I didn't have to sell out of emergency or necessity. It was just looking over things and wanting to diversify. I've always dabbled in a bunch of things at once, and that was the same as a kid, and it's kind of the same now. So figured do games, do some toys, sports stuff. I want to make the basement look pretty, so money goes to that. Yeah, that's been fun.
I guess I'm behind you there.
Maybe someday I'll. Huh?
What's that sign behind you? That reflective mirror? Is that a beer sign or?
Oh,
that one right there.
Yeah, let's go take a look. I'm on the mobile. That's not
We got a
too
tour
bad.
here.
A tour. Hey, what's it doing? Oh, I just want to reverse the camera.
I can still see you. There you
Yeah. It's Molson Canadian Club.
Ah,
Pretty cool.
Molson's.
Wet bars, same as ever. Here's the shelf. Here's my newest shelf. Of course, thank you, people.
Ecto 1 right up there.
Mostly, this is mostly a DVD shelf. TV series at the top. Yeah, recent acquisition with the Ecto 1. Let's turn these lights around.
That's cool. Cool little layout right there.
Yeah, just nothing fancy. I don't need complete collections of anything really, but just stuff that's interesting. So, yeah, the GBs and the RGBs and the TMNTs next to each other. Just
Or is that shelf like nailed against the wall there, or what? How'd you do your shelf?
well, I guess let's save this material for the shelf cast reunion. Right?
Ooh, okay. I hear you. I hear you.
But for this small viewing party, it's not a big deal. But yeah, just did 1x1 straps tied to the studs,
Mm-hmm.
and then tied those to the straps, and then you got the side support. So yeah, a buddy of mine did a real nice job. The wood actually matched a lot better than I thought it would to the wall. So this is just what do they call it? Like rough cut lumber. So it's like a true, what do we get? 6 inches here? Like a true 6x1.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't milled, just painted. Like how it looks. It's a little rough sometimes on the DVDs, but well. But yeah, it ties in nice, and these guys just sit up there.
What do you need?
And I went,
What do you need DVDs for? You can just get them on Blu-ray, anyways.
yeah. DVDs. Oh, there's the anybody Tom Cruise fan? Tom Cruise collection.
We got Tom Cruise right here.
Biggest collection, the Nicolas Cage collection. Pretty.
I just picked up Face Off not that long ago, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I hadn't, as a Nicolas Cage fan, I had never seen Face Off all the way through, so it was really awesome to watch it. It does not disappoint.
It's like Con Air. It doesn't disappoint.
Oh, Con Air is legendary. Yeah. These guys up there, little guys there. Got some more Mac the Moose. Anybody remember Mac the Moose? Canadian.
Isn't it Monty Moose?
Or Monty Moose. Yeah, sorry. Whoops. Couple guys.
Joe, when you go to those TF cons, do they have anything else besides, like, is it just GoBots and Transformers there, or do they have other toys there too?
It's becoming a mixture. The main two I hit up, or I used to hit up on a regular basis every year, is the 80s toy show. So that's a combo of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now TFCon, they've started introducing, a bit more 80s stuff as well as video games and whatnot.
Consoles are still there, except for the Master System 2. Master System 2's gone. I might move on to some other. Oh, I've got to get rid of the first Master System. But yeah, that's the collection all pared down to this one side. So nothing too bad. Nothing too overly valuable anymore. Maybe probably the biggest one is Space Megaforce, but it's just because it's a good shooter. Yeah, that's it.
I saw Dean got your Zombie Nation.
Yeah.
Zombie Nation, yeah. I don't know. Dean didn't get Zombie Nation. Nope.
No?
I asked him about it, but he was going to Midwest.
He had to buy a Snatcher.
Random question. Have you ever played Troubleshooter on the Genesis?
Troubleshooter. I think I wanted to buy it at one time, and then I never did.
Yeah, because I actually just got a copy of that for cheap. but I have no interest in keeping it.
Loose or complete?
Loose. I
Loose.
can go grab it if you want to see it.
Yeah, I can always take.
That's probably a no. Paul needs a complete.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like an $80 game, so
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Complete.
that's loose.
I was close to trading it, so, or trading for it, but yeah, I haven't been buying really any games lately. If I get anything, it's usually other stuff. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I can show you my kids sleeping. They've been growing a lot, and that's
This is my pickup here, my sleeping crib.
that's most of my time that I spend. So. And gardening. You got any good gardening stories?
That's what you want to talk to Kevin about.
The
His
Garden of Zen.
Yeah, it's Garden of Zen there.
Gardening. Yeah. And yeah, played some sports. Try not to be so fat. So much stuff. That's my life.
There we go. We gotta get ourselves a gym cast here. Me, you, and Joe. We'll talk about hitting the gym.
Yeah, we're finding motivation to hit the gym.
But we have to accommodate because you guys have the metric system or something like that where we have to discuss how much we're lifting.
Yeah. I go by the Scottish measurements. I go by rocks.
Stone.
How many stones I lift? I lifted 4 stones.
Was it Magnus von Magnuson or something like that? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Strongest man in the world?
Yeah. Gosh, these guys are scary. What's that? Is it Brian Regan talking about the strongman competition? He's like, these guys are doing incredible things that people really don't do in real life, like throw a refrigerator into like a 2nd-story window. He's like, trust me, they don't need to be up there. Don't hurt yourself. Well, the Jays suck. Cubbies are not as good as they should be. And the Brewers are good.
All is right in the world.
So weird.
We got swept by the Reds, worst team in baseball.
Yeah. All the Reds. Yeah. Anyway, as you were. No.
Yeah. Still a long season. You don't celebrate the World Series in June, so that's the fun part of baseball. You just enjoy the ride, and hopefully your team's still in September. Make it interesting.
Yeah, it's a long enough season. You can be in denial for a long time. Where hockey, like, you kind of know 2.5 months in, you're like, yeah, they're screwed. Too many points for tying, and the Bettman points and all that. It's impossible to catch up. That's sports.
That's a sports there.
Nobody likes the sports segment. For the other podcast. Actually, well, we had our episode 13 for all of the 1 or 2 people that may have listened to that one. That was good. Good to get back. Yeah, we tried to. I think we put our. Well, we went through archives.org
Mm-hmm.
and so host it free essentially that way because it's expensive on Podbean.
Let's put it on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Put them all up on there. Because guess what? You have a podcast one, don't you have an episode on one of the YouTube channel? Like episode 5 or something's on there?
Yeah, I think we we have them recorded there usually.
Mm-hmm.
But we recorded all of ours.
Just put an audio version, like STC does.
But
hey, that's where 2017 podcast of the year. That's one of their areas where they store their podcasts.
Yeah.
What's
What's that? Is is that Cartridge Club 2017 podcast of the year or?
Yep, last year's podcast of the year.
We did an award show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, have they hit the big times? Like, is this awarded? Are they too good for us now?
No.
Okay, Cartridge Club. I see.
It was strong competition. The polls were very tight for that one. We had like 100 votes for coming for the podcast for the club. And
Nice.
STC edged it out by 1 vote
Over
Fandango.
ending.
And Rox admitted that he did not vote. So, yeah.
And
Because he didn't believe me, and I sent him the proof. Because I did the totals, and I sent him the evidence that yes, the STC won by 1 vote.
Enzy and I voted for leftover bits, so that's where our 2 votes went.
Okay.
I think J-Rock admitted to not voting either.
Really?
Well, he didn't want to hurt people's feelings, probably, right? He's a wanted guest on multiple shows, so.
Yeah. The Dodgers kind of suck too. Everybody sucks, except for the Brewers.
That's right.
I'm even drinking Miller MGD. What's with that?
Ew.
Was it just something left over from a party or something?
No,
Did you lose a bet?
No, we went and purchased that directly. So
MGD actually isn't that bad. I kind of prefer it over Miller Lite.
When you have to describe your beer as not that bad, it's not good.
Well, you give me the choice if I'm going to drink Spotted Cow or something, man.
Well, sure.
I don't buy Miller all the time. I buy it when it's like you go tailgating or something like that because you want something cheap, and like you're just going to drink beer when you're there. But like Spotted Cow will fill you up, as opposed to those Miller beers. Well, they're all light beers are almost essentially the same.
our beer is cheap. Joe, how much are you paying for like a 12-pack out east?
I just buy the cans, so can like that. This is $2.
All right.
So between $2 and $3 a can.
Do you guys get 40 ounces there? Okay.
Yeah, we got them.
Yeah, so it's still
Steel Reserve or Colt 45 or
24 or $30 for a 12-pack, I'd imagine then. Or is that a tall can?
That's a tall can. I usually buy like a mixed batch of whatever I feel like.
I would imagine the prices are relatively the same, though. We'll spend $30 on 12 bottles, and I know in the States you could spend half of that for nearly a 24-pack. So
come to where I live, man.
it's expensive to drink. We can't. We don't have enough money, and it's expensive to
It's cheap where I live.
drink later. Yeah.
Unless you want to drink like Johnny Walker Blue or something like that,
I guess I should start hitting up the craft breweries more. Get a a growler refill. Be somewhat livable. No, sticking to water.
There's water in beer.
Canada has lots of water, so it come in handy once Trump finds a way to take exception with everything about Canada. He'll be like, "And we want your water too," just because.
Put a tariff on your water.
Yeah.
First, he has to discover what water is.
It's got electrolytes.
It's great. Our water's the best water in the world. It's excellent. Talk to my people, and they concur.
That was the best Trump impersonation I heard, Paul.
What else is new? I don't know. Nothing really. That's about it. That's all from the Paul world.
Yeah.
Oh, I rediscovered my passion for the game of Cranium.
Cranium.
Yeah, and then I looked at how old it was. It was like 20 years old this year, and I felt really old.
Is the Play-Doh all dried out?
Yeah, well, it starts to like crystallize. It's not good. Not good. So I try using my own Play-Doh, and then people complain because it's not the same density as the cranium clay, they call it. So, but, you know, it's fun. It's a game. It's a game for people that probably don't want to get into one particular game. So enough variety, you can be bad at one thing at least and be good at some others.
All right, guys. I'm probably gonna bounce for the night, but good to see everyone here again. You know, people returning. Joe, good to see you here for the first time.
Nice seeing you too, Sauce.
Take care, everyone. See you guys later.
See you.
Hey, man.
Bye.
Good night.
Oh, I was scared
taking
away
off, too.
Oh, scared away Eric too.
Yeah, it's 9:30 here. I gotta get going. Good night,
12:30
folks.
here.
See you next week.
See you, Eric.
Good night.
Hey, Eric.
So, Paul, I'm going to ask you, what does the game of the month have to be to get you back?
The game of the month. I saw there's Link's Awakening on the portable one. I even put in a 2-word review for that one. So I played it maybe 8 months ago, so I don't know if I'll play it again. But yeah, I don't know. Not really that it's a particular game, I guess. Did you guys ever do, or I guess you did do Journey?
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the people that don't like it really didn't like it, and the people that liked it were like, yeah, it's good.
Actually, I think P1 liked it more than
he thought he would.
Because he was the one who looked at it and was calling it, push up the game.
Yeah. And it's very easy entry. It's it's an experience more than it is like hardcore gameplay. Like I bought it as like the 3-pack. I think that those guys put out, and it was fun. I just sat down for the afternoon and found some random person online, and I guess if you don't like that aspect, then you would hate it. But I thought it was kind of cool. Like you're not talking, with language. It's just kind of a series of beeps and chirps and stuff, and it was an interesting experience. It was really pretty, and it's fun to just kind of explore a bit. But yeah, it's pretty simplistic. It's nothing that I'm telling people that I'm probably going to be playing over and over again. But definitely,
I'll go back to it at some point. But
yeah,
no rush.
No, that's like a once every 5 or 8 years kind of game if you're wanting to do that. So, yeah, it was fun. It was a fun little kind of pick me up game. So, and I don't have much time for games, so that was even probably a big reason why I probably enjoyed it. It was quick and easy and low commitment. I didn't feel like I had to spend, I didn't even have to spend a weekend on it. I just put it in one afternoon when I had a few hours, and yeah, it was fun. But what game? Did they do Red Dead Redemption yet? It's a good game.
No, we haven't yet.
Yeah.
Sequel comes out.
Sequel's coming out sometime, yeah.
The pre-sequel.
Yes.
That
comes out, end of October.
This isn't after the Marsden story?
No, it's a prequel, but they called it 2.
Yeah.
So it's the pre-sequel.
Okay. I would have liked to seen an earlier John Marsden story rather than just an alternate. Is it connected to it at all?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Isn't John Marsden in the first
in the trailer?
Revolver?
I don't know if he's in the. I don't know if he's in that.
Revolver.
But this game is supposed to be Dutch's gang before
Okay.
before things all go the way that they did at the beginning of Redemption.
Yeah, that was a good game. Spent a lot of time with that one.
I have not put a minute into that game.
A lot of multiplayer online too. I was just, gosh, I never had more fun running around with me and my two brothers, and then another friend. I think we just went around doing the hunting missions. Then after you got bored with the hunting missions, we just made up our own missions, like see who can punch a bear in the face without getting mauled to death. Gosh, nearly peed our pants, I think, laughing so much. And then there's another one where like you're supposed to kind of eradicate the cougars from a certain area. So yeah, they're all coming down from the hills, and you just shoot them off every once in a while. That was all right. And then there's like the big, like I don't know, the like the overly aggressive one, and that one's a little harder. But even after that was over, that was a random online experience. Like, so somebody started joining in with our hunt, and after we killed everything, then we just kind of sat there, and the cougars kept respawning. So we just started punching cougars. That was really funny too. And gosh, yeah, nothing like punching a video game. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, Red Dead's fun. It's more. I don't think it's a particular game. I think it's just time of life right now. Just lots of other things on the go, and I like having the games, and maybe putting things in for like 10 minutes at a time. But yeah, I don't know. Just kind of like everybody talks about how they might have got back into gaming if they were out of it for a time, and then they kind of got back into it with collecting and playing again. I'm kind of in my second wave, I guess. Just I know enough to not get rid of everything that initially brought me back into playing again. But yeah, just kind of on pause a little bit and making time for other things. And so now if I'm gonna look at things on the shelf, I figured I should reduce the number of games that I'm just looking at their spine and probably will never play. But yeah, I bought some toys. They're kind of cool. And then just a couple other little projects. Not overstepping in one area or another. Yeah, finally starting to have a little bit of free time myself. So even just spending time with the wife and the kids are a little more self-sufficient. So stepping out and doing some sports and all that thing. So gaming will come eventually. Gaming's always been there for me when you need another hobby to do or things are slow. So yeah. What's coming up next? So you have the Midwest Gaming.
That was in
Expo?
April. That was in April.
Then there's the Cartridge Club Con or something like that.
Yeah, the Chicago
Coming
thing
up.
is in July.
Nice. Dean keeps mentioning that, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool. It's just tough to get funds together. I'm working full time. The wife is kind of teaching online part time, which helps kind of pad the wallet a bit, but it's not a full time income. So we're stretching ourselves to go visit family in August, like beginning of August. So that's where all our extra cash will go for now. But yeah, it sounds fun. People going out to that.
It should be a good time. I mean, it's a big hangout, you know.
Yeah. You should have. Oh, you should have a Google Hangout of the big in-person hangout.
Well, we are. I mean, we are talking about streaming. We're planning some live stuff, scheduled TBD. But we're planning on at least streaming that on Twitch or YouTube. We haven't really decided yet, but
Nice.
So those who couldn't make it, can still catch it or still be kind of a part of that, even if they couldn't make it all the way. I'm not trying to disincentivize people from coming because there's lots of people in the club who I know. None of us are going to ever catch Dean for most clubbers met, I don't think, but
yeah, the traveling man.
He's all over the place. But
do you guys plan on doing this next year as well, Musty?
So this whole thing was it started as Travis and Diego's thing, and then I kind of got brought into the mix, and then with circumstances being what they were, and Diego having to sort of take himself out of the mix, it was opportune that I was there to help. I think it'd be awesome to do something regular like this. Whether I think we'll need to look at the grand scheme of it and whether it makes sense to tie it to an event like Barry or like Midwest or something like that, like kind of center it around some other major structure. Or I was having a conversation during Midwest with somebody who was saying, like, you know what? Actually, I think it was Eric. It was Eric. I was talking with Eric, and Eric was like, PAX used to just be this small group of people who would just get together and do this thing once a year, and then it kind of grew from there. So why not set your sights a little bit bigger than just a family reunion? And so I'm trying to think, is there, not that I want to dedicate a ton of time becoming like an event organizer on the grand scheme of it, but it's possible that we could come up with something that would work on an annual basis that's readily accessible enough for most, or can be that thing that people decide to travel to if they can make it. I think we'll probably take some lessons learned from like booking and stuff this year, because that had some hiccups, I think, or at least it had us nervous for a bit. But I think that I don't see why we wouldn't do this or attempt to do this once a year if possible.
Would you always have it in one location?
That's the tough thought, is that it would be nice to kind of move it regionally. Like if we could come up with 3 locations so that it cycles, so that maybe we get a West Coast and an East Coast, a Canada location, like, or maybe 4 locations, right? You get West, Central, East, and Canada, and then find a way to mix that up so that the people who can't make it to the West Coast, the people on the West Coast who can't make it to one of the other ones can be there this year instead of that year.
Yeah, like you'll always get the traveling people that will go wherever because that's just what they do, but you might get other people attending that normally couldn't make it out of their usual zone either. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, but I think some of it is yet what is the ultimate like goal aside from just allowing people to come hang out with each other? Like, is there something else that we want the club to be seen as in this kind of light? And maybe there is. We just I don't know that we even fully understand what this whole thing is going to be, and we're going to kind of play it by ear. We have some stuff planned, and we've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm hoping that the people who can make it have a good time, and but at the same time, I don't want to tell people what they have to do, and so I'm trying to like say, you know, we'll put some structure on this block of time. The rest of the time, it's like if you guys want to break into small groups, and if you guys want to go do an escape room, and you guys want to go to a baseball game, and you guys want to go to the arcade or something, like do it, right? Like I think that's kind of what my mentality is to open it enough to where it's like, look, we're here now. If you just want to sit and talk, there you go. Like,
and you could have a lot of cool things regionally that would be unique to that area, right? I mean, you could probably do it around a con weekend, so you can still go to, if you're really just there for games, well, go there for games and panels and all that fun stuff. But because the Cartridge Club, in essence, is, you know, community and online, you know, hanging out and making friends that way, you know, sometimes people, like you said, they probably might want to go to a ball game. They might want to go to an escape room or whichever, and just kind of experience a bunch of different things together. So you could even build a weekend around that, right? So hey, there's kind of Cartridge Club, so to speak, sanctioned events, if you want to call it. You know, a bunch of, you know, we got this going on, this going on, this going on. So choose something and have fun or whichever. So
like the Canada ones, like you could.
Like I'd go to
schedule it around a existing con or something, like the same weekend or something.
Like I'd go to Vancouver, and
like you could schedule it around the Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo, because that's one day, and then the rest of the weekend could be Cartridge Club stuff.
Yeah, there's lots of other
or
things.
Barrie.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, that's how Barrie went down. You know, and I think that's a good model for it. In fact, Barrie is a great model for it because it's the Sunday, which gives us, you know, the con doesn't, or the show doesn't eat up. Like Saturday, we had all day to kind of do things, right? We got to hang out at Joe's place, and we got to, you know, we went to Dave and Buster's, and some of us didn't get our milkshakes and things like that. Like, but we all got
the place down,
right. So we just it was nice because we got to do those things. We got to hang out, and then we had the big event, that event happening after the fact. Whereas if the event happens first, then we don't spend the time talking to each other. We spend the time talking about what happened at the event. I don't know. I'm sure you could, if you wanted to frame it in the opposite direction, you could come up with a perfectly viable reason for why it'd be good to have the event happen first, or have the event be, you know, like a Portland where it's all weekend. Because I mean, there's some people coming up for the entire week prior. I know Miles and Catherine have said they're coming up. They're getting there on Sunday, the Sunday prior, and they're going to go do all the touristy stuff that you know, maybe they know they want to do, but maybe they don't want to subject everyone else to, which I think is great for them if, you know, they can do their vacation and then at the same time get those things out of the way, and then, you know, just have us to hang out with when the time comes. No, we're excited. I'm excited.
Is there a head count? Do you got a head count for who's showing up?
I think I haven't formalized the head count. Part of the difficulty is that the hotel won't give me the names of the reservations. so I can't say that like, okay, I know that this reservation has 2 people. Like all I know is that the number of rooms that were booked, which we were sweating for a little bit there, but thankfully that worked out. I think we're nearing. We've got to at least be at 30, if not more. Because I mean, retro nonsense is going to be there, and that's 5 right there.
Is that book the room?
What's that?
Just retro
They're
nonsense. Was the
They're
reservation
just
name?
yeah. I bet.
His kids be applying for college now. I better got that YouTube channel before we're all grown up, and then he starts doing it with grandkids.
I wonder if he's going to update the intro, or if he's going to leave them as their super young selves.
Yeah.
They, but yeah, I know that I don't think there's anybody who is rooming solo. Like everyone has at least one roommate, I believe. Granted, some of it's like Eric and Melissa have their own room. I think. But like, yeah, like, I think Dean and I are rooming together. I'm not sure if Scott has somebody lined up, but for the most part, I would say we should have at least 35 people.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good number.
Yeah, that's pretty much on par with what Barry was, and there's no game exchange or framing it. Like that's the other part.
It's a good number where you can have people talking to each other and not be feeling like left out, in terms of just overwhelming amount of people, and you feel like you miss somebody. And like you said, it'll be a good marker and a good starting point to determine, what you might want to change or how you want to fix it up for a following show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what got me into the whole collecting and retro stuff, and then finding the Cartridge Club and all that fun stuff. So if it's a people oriented thing, that probably would get me back into it. So not a game really, but yeah, if there's something out west eventually someday, I might take a look at coming back in there. So.
Well, Portland's almost certainly a thing every year going forward.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I might my journey down to Seattle, that just happened, I think, like a weekend or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Seattle Retro Gaming Expo, just to see something different as well. I guess they kind of all look the same, but I do have a family member in Seattle now, so might take up the free board for that. But actually, the hotel wasn't the most expensive part. With our 3-way sharing of the room, we that was actually pretty cheap when myself, Dean, and Luke all went.
Are you going to Portland this year, Musty?
Yes. We're in the planning stages right now. My wife and I just had our 10-year anniversary, and so we're going to actually travel up there the week prior.
Mm-hmm.
We might go to Seattle for a couple days, and then Portland for a couple days before the convention. And then I think she's probably going to head back on the Friday, and then I'll stay through the weekend.
Did Curtis ever Portland?
No, I think the year that you were there was his last year that he's been there. He's going to have to. He should finish his Super Nintendo collection there this year.
Yeah.
He's almost in the single digits. He's down to like...
It was 11, if I read it right. Or I tried to count it quickly on his... He's got a couple still that are
his weird ones that he has, like the that dentist one.
The bronchi.
Not the it's the tooth one.
Tooth one.
There's like a dentist.
Nobelin?
Is it Rex Ronan?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the cigarettes one.
Not a dentist.
Nope.
There's Bronchi Health Hero.
Okay, maybe it is the bronch.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, there's the Novolin one, and that isn't that like
He has that. I'm sure of that.
That's like a diabetes one, isn't it?
yeah. That's a
Bronchi
funny
Health
one.
Hero. Oh.
And there's the Artie Lightfoot.
Yeah, that's
Those are like the only two big, like the hard ones he has. The rest of them are pretty easy.
so Bronchi is an asthmatic dinosaur.
Yes. So weird.
Packy and Marlin, is that the one? No, that's type 1 diabetes.
I know he was really after my Rocky and Rocky 2, but
He got Pocky and Rocky when we were at the convention in LA last summer.
oh, okay. Number 2, I imagine.
Yeah.
That's good. I went to a local here. I didn't feel too bad because I've helped him out with his collection in the past, so he actually got a pretty good steal of a deal on a similarly valued game with was that Zero, the Kamikaze Squirrel or whatever.
Mm.
I definitely under traded on that one, but that's fine. I did not get it for very much money. Back in the day when you could find crap and people weren't selling you Duck Hunt and the for $150.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for.
I got to get up to 6 hours, so I'll see you guys next week. This was fun.
Awesome. Thanks for coming by, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Cheers,
Good
Cheers.
time. See you self-cast.
guys. See you, bro.
I thought he was on all the time. That's funny timing him.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, that was his first Hangout appearance.
Oh, is this his first time on?
That was his first time on.
No,
I think he tried to connect once, but he was trying to watch and he accidentally clicked the join link instead of the view link.
Or I wonder if, like way back, I think he might have tried to join, or maybe he joined, but he didn't want to do the video portion. He was still not wanting to do video at the time, right? That would have been a long time ago.
That sounds about right.
Feels like a decade. It feels like a decade ago. Sometime around there, in the early 2000s. It's 8-2, bottom of the 8th.
Yeah.
Chicago's still wearing them away, wearing them down. Where are they at?
Yeah, Curtis's list doesn't seem like it's too bad.
No, he's got the
That soccer game is going to be tricky.
Aero Fighters was the last like real tricky one he had to
Yeah.
get.
Oh yeah, Phoenix would be one that I wouldn't mind going down to as well.
I think we're me, Curtis, Chris Roberts, and maybe NES Complex are gonna go to that this
Right.
year.
Yeah, I'd seen that they kind of started to localize, like back in the heyday when Chris and Vintage were really into everything. You know, they were going to Portland, and well, I think that's half the reason why most of us heard about Portland and got excited. Like, oh, it'd be cool to go see. I think the year that I finally got up the motivation to go was like the year that everybody was having their own personal issues or didn't want to go. So me and Dean and Luke and we met Curtis up there, and he's like, well, it was fun, but kind of missing a few people that and he was kind of alluding to those guys, like he would have liked to have them up there because I think he,
What year did you go?
15.
15.
That's because I went in 2015.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because I went in 16, and then so then 17 I couldn't go.
it was a cool year because it was the 10th year, and it was year of Back to the Future. So
That's right. That was the lanyard tag was the Marty and the
yeah,
hazmat suit.
I commissioned Dean to bring me up a poster that I forgot that I should have bought when I was there. Like, it was stupid not to get it because we had our car, and I could have brought back anything. I could have brought back the whatchamacallit, what's that TV? What's the model? What's the brand for the NES TV? Panasonic?
The Sharp?
Sharp.
Yeah. I could have brought back that Sharp TV, which was actually decently priced, because nobody wanted to bid on it because they didn't want to pay shipping. But we actually brought down my car. But yeah, that was a cool year. It was fun. But yeah, I wanted to meet a couple of people that weren't there. So, and I think Billy and the Game Chasers, they were banned.
They weren't there that year.
At one time. I don't know if they're back now, but yeah, they were not allowed to go back for a while, so that also kind of discouraged people. Retro Liberty was not going there at the time when they were Retro Liberty. What's the deal with that? Anybody have the lowdown on what the heck going on with Aaron's alter ego and new channel?
So we were talking about it a little bit earlier because a new episode of NES Pursuit came out just a couple days ago. I think there are some people who have privileged information on what the specifics are, but I think we a lot of us have kind of drawn the conclusion that there's probably YouTube is getting in the way of family stuff, and I mean, I know he's got what, 3-4 kids, 3 kids,
yeah.
So I think it was kind of. I think that's kind of what a lot of us are thinking was going on, but I don't know that we don't.
Well, and anybody that probably knows doesn't.
Yeah, that's not something that really you would plan to discuss.
But yeah, I kind of got that idea. And at one point, I thought like he's not to go all Sherlock Holmes, but I'm like, he's not wearing a wedding ring in that one video. Like, he was on the Game Chasers or something like that, and I'm like, he's really like, it kind of became obvious. Like, he started like hiding his hands. I'm like, why are you being so awkward? And then I noticed like he just kept hiding his one left hand, and then he started flashing his fingers real quick in the video. I'm like, oh, like, but then it was back on and like another, because I noticed that the first time. Then I had to look for it this most recent NES Institute, and then he has it back on or something. So I don't know.
Yeah,
who knows? But anyway, I imagine that it usually, like I said before, a lot of people get out of the collecting when they face an emergency or they're having personal issues. And
there was a video from Wood Beat 'em Ups. He went over a bunch of it at the time. That's where I got the family thing.
Like when he initially deleted his,
like that. It was just kind of like interfering.
But it was pretty vague. Like he didn't say like something. He just said that he needs time and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. And the way Aaron kind of talked about it, when he was doing the video, he usually when you're overly vocal about like, my wife supports this, this is my passion, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
He talked about it a lot that way, and so you kind of almost wonder, like, if it was a kind of an issue, then maybe that's why he felt like you needed to talk and justify it a lot. But
Yeah, but they were putting out videos of a really fast clips, so I can see like why it would interfere with things.
Mhm.
And
Well,
like high quality videos.
and when they were talking about it back in the in their heyday and stuff, people would ask them like, "How do you do these videos?" And yeah, I'm committed to my family, and I just stay up late at night, and I don't really need to sleep very much. I edit these till 1 or 2 in the morning, but I don't care who you are.
That starts to weigh.
That takes a toll on you eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's see it time and time again. People get way too into something, and you're spending money probably where you shouldn't. And
yeah, every outing becomes for a video rather than like actually spending time with family.
And I'd love to talk about that actually on our podcast, because I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. And again, that episode that 2 people probably listened to, but we kind of talked about just personal stuff that we've been pursuing more, and just trying to be more responsible adults and stuff, growing up and things. But I don't think it's talked about very openly about some of the problems that people face. And I don't know, probably because when you're in it, you don't want to admit that you're spending money that should be budgeted better, or you shouldn't be spending your paycheck. But sometimes people do, right? So, but I'd like to talk about that, because I think it's something that needs to be voiced, because I think there's people that feel it, and but they just don't act on it, because, well, same as any habit that gets to be a bad habit, it's embarrassing a bit. So, yeah, like I have spent some money that I probably shouldn't have, but I'm thankful that I'm not spending mortgage money here. I'm not going into debt. Like, I'm not racking up credit cards with gaming money. I never have. So, but yeah, it's still kind of identifying healthy, and then going into the unhealthy side of any sort of collecting or hobby habits. So, yeah, because we see people fall, and then we're disappointed when, oh, where'd they go, or I missed their content, and they were a big part of the community. And I think speaking to the truth of what happens is part of helping out people in the community, not just applauding them when they upload a video and we don't see the work or the time that goes into that, or the other things in their lives that they're neglecting. I'd love to edit YouTube videos. I have one that's like, halfway finished, that I've never published. I wanted to finish, and that's from years ago now. But I'd love to finish it. But the time that it would have taken me to finish all that, I get it. Like, if you're creative and you're passionate about it, you should finish those things. And who cares about the views and stuff? But in the end, it's tough to justify putting 40 hours into a video when you got other things that you can find more fulfillment probably a little sooner, with local friends or family, and life stuff, and making money, that fun stuff. But, yeah, I think people forget to be honest with themselves sometimes. So I don't know. Hope that doesn't make anybody feel awkward if they spent too much money on their credit card this month. And, yeah, never speaking condemningly, or other people. Other times people make those same mistakes, and then they change their ways, and then they kind of look down their nose on people that are just now making those same mistakes. Kind of silly. That's ultra hypocritical. So,
Yeah.
That
I mean, one of the things that my wife and I did this year, and this is probably the best thing that could have worked out, was that we both got dedicated checking accounts for our fund money.
cool.
And that really helped. It's helped me kind of, well, it helps me just self budget, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, if I do this, then I have direct consequences for things I can't do then. And it's really kept me in check. It's also made me understand that there's stuff that I, could sell to bolster that money. And in a couple of cases, I've done that. So,
yeah, I have a PayPal account that's only what I use for, like, basically spending on games and records, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Two things that I spend my money on, and when I'm out, I can't I can't buy anymore, and so
yeah. Oh, I think that's smart. I wish people would just talk about that more, so that
it makes me more critical on what I want to spend my money on too. And
it's like, do I want to go out for lunch this week? Like, do I
Yeah.
really need to go out for lunch, or can I just go home and eat lunch?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great thing, and it's worked out. Like I said, it's worked out well, even with, having gone to. I went to Cedar Rapids Comic Con and I went to Midwest, and I was able to bolster those funds enough so that I would have the spending capital that I wanted for those events. And I'll do the same for Portland, and I'll do the same for Chicago to some extent. That'd be my best recommendation. If people are having, if that's getting in the way, that's a good way to hold yourself accountable. Because like I auto deposit a certain amount every paycheck, and that is mine to do whatever I want to do with it. So
yeah, and I think I probably should look at just auto depositing or just setting up a certain. I think you would spend less. I would spend less having a set amount come out of a paycheck rather than, well, I have nothing. And then you kind of get that, you get that burning feeling like I need to spend money, and then you have no limit, and it can be dangerous. So, I've flirted with that sometimes, but it's just that's part of simple budgeting too. So part of the people's downfall is when you got into collecting or rebuying the things that you didn't have as a kid, you said, "Oh well, I got disposable. I got this check in my hand. Why don't I go cash it and go buy some cool stuff?" And if you get into that habit, pretty soon then you don't have no budget. You're just buying stuff because that's what you did when you were 20 and you got your first job that paid you, $900 for 2 weeks of work, and here you go. So it's just part of adulting, I guess. I'm probably speaking more from a disadvantage than you guys are. So I'm preaching to a much more experienced choir. But it was nice to at least sell some stuff at peak value rather than the promise of it'll always go up. I don't know if gaming stuff will always be going up, but got the value that probably needed out of it and pay for some more responsible things. That was cool. Yeah, it'd be nice to. It's tight now. We're not hanging on by a thread, but it's not much room. Like I said, I can't even really afford to buy beer. $30-some on a pack of beer. You're like, well, that's a lot of bread and butter, so might as well just drink water. But it'd be nice to get back to the point where I could be like, oh, here's $40 from the paycheck. Have fun.
I mean, it's good to say. It's good to give yourself an allowance, right? Like if you can swing it, I mean, that's.
How I've been having fun lately is mostly just selling smartly what I needed to, going through the bulk bins of stuff that I've had for eons, like, spare consoles that I'm like, I'm not going to play these. I already have spares for those spares, so why don't I keep the best of them? And I'm just kind of pocket some cash now. And so, been really stingy. I've had that $50 in my wallet for like a month now, just waiting to spend on the right things. So, but I cracked the first 10 out of it today. So, you guys play darts at all?
Darts?
Darts?
Yeah, I play.
I mean, you're probably much better at it than me, but I moved it downstairs so that I could practice.
Nice.
But
I mostly play. I play like cricket. That
I
game.
okay, so explain the rules again.
Well, cricket is like you score on bull through down to 16, I believe.
Okay.
And you score on them by you have to close out each number before you can score on it. So if say I'm going for 20s, and by closing it out, you either hit like a triple 20, a double 20, and basically you have to score like 3 times on the one number to open it up and to be able to score on it.
Nice.
So you play 2 people and say I opened up 20 for myself, so I can start scoring on that. But you can also try to close it out by scoring 3 times on there as well. So once that's closed out, once I have closed out 20 and you have closed out 20, no one can score on that anymore.
Okay.
And you go until you close out 20 through bullseye down to like 16, I believe is the. It's been a while since I played, but
Yeah.
I do a horrible job of explaining games.
No, it's fun to play the different variations. They help you.
But that's kind of like the standard. That's like playing like 8-ball and pool. That's like the standard game.
Yeah.
And we play there's like 300, I believe, where you start with 300 points and you go down to 0 but you have to get 0 exactly. You can't go over or on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You double out a lot.
There's variations on that where you have to double in or double out on stuff. Yeah.
I hate doubling in, but I don't mind doubling out because it kind of keeps things close at the end. Yeah, but I don't know, like whoever. Oh, sounds like one of them's awake. I'm gonna mute myself. Right back.
I'm gonna have to call it pretty soon for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna split. I got the house to myself tonight for a little bit, but I'm tired.
Yeah, we're like 10, 15 minutes past the 3-hour mark, so I just let it go because you guys were talking.
Paul does that thing. He does that thing. I just don't want to. I don't want to bounce while he's away because.
Yeah.
What's Paul's name on?
That's Cartridge Canuck.
Oh, that's Cartridge Canuck?
Yeah.
Okay. All
He
right.
started the Hangout initially.
Yeah, he was the reason the whole Hangout concept began.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
because when I first started coming on, he was on maybe one. I think I've only ever seen him on here like once, and I didn't realize that that was who Cartridge Canuck was. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took the reins when then he kind of phased himself out for a bit, and he was at arm's length.
All right. Well, I am going to skedaddle.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it was good to see you.
Yeah, you too, guys.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, man. I'll see you guys later.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye. Hey, tell Paul I said bye.
We will.
I was also playing Warframe, so
Oh, that Halo 2 runs up next. I wonder how long. Ah, he's back. Okay.
He had to leave, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he wanted to say thanks for hanging out.
Was that Matt Bandy?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. See, I think I don't know if he just started to come around or just I didn't get to know him as well back before. But there's a few people that I'm like, oh, I know your name, know of you. Didn't get
Yeah,
to
he started popping in. He popped in once in a while. There was a stretch, I think, he'd come on like one time a month or something just because he had the free time for it.
Well, he would. I remember he would start to like chime in and contribute on like game of the month and all that stuff online. I would see him, but I don't know if I ever.
Yeah, he's big on the portable side. That's his. He and Curtis are close, and they live close as well.
Okay.
But
Yeah, wasn't it us that me and him that were competing on Tetris, and then his wife
came and dropped a.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like the gifts every single time one of us posted a score. Like, how are you guys doing this?
Who was it that was scoring insanely high on Mario 1? And it was like...
Oh, jeez. Well, Richard, I think, was one of them, right? Didn't he have...
And Fitnet, you had a decent score, but then there was somebody else that was like just trumping everybody's score by like 30 or 40,000 or something.
And I'm going to the...
I forgot that I was part of that one.
How long ago was that? That feels like
a while.
Yeah.
I'm going into the beat my score section.
Over a year. Yeah, really happy with the... You guys have any Ghostbusters?
Nope.
No.
Did you have them as a kid?
No, never had figures for it.
No?
I think I had one, but...
Like, I remember having these guys. I mean, I never remember seeing the Proton Pack streams with them. Like, I was probably, like came out in 1986. So I would have been, less than a year old. And probably when they started getting popular. Yeah, I was probably as young, younger than my oldest, who's 4 now. So yeah, my parents probably just, heck, they might even got these things and either put them in a drawer or they just threw them away because, like, no, he can choke on those. I didn't have too many. I remember having the figures, the Ecto 1A, which has all the like the slime stickers, and then I did actually have this Firehouse, which is proudly displayed on my deep freezer. So, but yeah, I didn't have a over. Oh, you want to see my things that are relegated to the storage room for now? I mean, this was on the wall for a while. You might have even seen that when that was on the wall. But I had to build a DVD shelf. Like this crazy Lord of the Rings.
That's cool.
Poster thing. But neighbor had it. Her husband said that she couldn't put it up. So it's been in her storage room. I'm like, I'll take it.
Dibs.
Kind of cool. Yeah. This is the spares box. Well, duplicates that are getting traded, and I usually lend those out. I don't lend out my collection. Anything from the collection, really. People are like, can I borrow your movies? I'm like, can I borrow your car? Like, yeah, we can lend it out to each other, but...
Yeah, I think I lost 9 movies at once.
Uh-oh.
And that was the last time I ever lent anything out.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not that I want to be unfriendly or
Yeah, and it was from someone I trusted. They just freaking lost them outright.
I don't know what happened. I was on the subway and I brought your movies. I'm like, why'd you bring my movies?
Yeah.
Well,
And another person borrowed Assassin's Creed off me, and their brother took it out and like left it on the windowsill in the rain. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
exactly.
Find me a new copy of this.
They decided to have like a Ferris Bueller's Day Off type weekend with your stuff, and it just happens to be in the equation. And I'm like, really? You promised me you'd take care of this stuff.
Yeah.
I've only ever had one person make good on, like, they borrowed it, the wrong people got a hold of it, got scratched, and then they lost stuff. And he's like, I feel so bad. I'm like, well, oh well, it happens. This is in high school. And he said, no, I'm gonna replace it. And yeah, it probably took him a month or so, but he replaced the DVDs that he lost or were broken. So I'm like, oh, thanks. But normally people aren't that way. They're like, can I borrow your stuff and treat it like it's a Blockbuster rental? And you'll get it all scratched up and you'll probably never be able to watch it again. Like, gosh, if somebody, I don't know. I don't like borrowing people's stuff for that reason because it ends up getting scratched anyway. And I'm really careful with everything, Only touch it with like the two fingers and make sure leave it face. That's the other thing. I'm like, I see movies around your place like face down, the data side facing up all the time. Well, just you're busy and your hands are full. I'm like, well, just when you take out the one, just put it in the sleeve that's right next to the DVD player. I don't want to educate people on how to put away DVDs, but
Yeah, I've seriously considered like making pamphlets on disc care.
yeah,
to pass out to people. Like just give a big pile of them to the library. It's like, here, give this out to anyone that takes out a DVD, for the love of God.
Well, I did, like, when one of the video stores is shutting down around here, they had the tired of DVDs getting scratched, like those promotional little pamphlets for basically selling you on disc repair. I'm like, oh, I'll keep this. This will be a funny memory. Kind of like Please Be Kind, Rewind.
Yeah.
Put those in there. So.
Especially when those stickers are on like an NES cartridge or something.
Yeah. Please rewind. I'll be sure to do that. Yep.
Yeah, I've got some anime VHSs that have like not for kids stickers on them. One of them's like an alien ripoff called Lily Cat. It's a really bizarre movie.
Lending out a movie every once in a while, I'm like, okay, well, it's one off. I bought it for like $2 at a pawn shop. That's fine. They're like, can I borrow your entire 30 Rock seasons? Like the whole series? Well, you do the math. Like, they mess up the disc on season 2, and then like 3 and 4 has some sort of peanut butter smudge from some sort of marathon there. And then they wonder why I look at them like, like they're idiots. Like, why do you ask to borrow stuff and then just not even take any sort of precautions to keep it, somewhat clean?
Right? Yeah, the other factor, especially with like specifically 30 Rock, it's like, if you can't spend the $10 for Netflix, you can't borrow my DVD.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to replace it if you're not willing to just get Netflix.
Yeah. Like, well, it's this particular show is not on Netflix. I mean, I'm sure your queue is so large that you don't even go into it anymore because you're discouraged about how many movies you saved for later. So there's enough digital content. I don't really feel like it's relevant for you guys to borrow my DVD series. Thanks. Like,
yeah,
some things are out of print too. Like, and people don't think of it because they're like, it's just old media, right? What do you care if it's a TV series that nobody watches anymore? Well, I bought it because nobody watches it. It's not on Netflix. Like Chuck on Blu-ray, right? They don't make Chuck on Blu-ray anymore, and it's damned expensive to find the whole set, right? So, sorry, I know that you like the show. We talked about it. We watched it when it was on Netflix, but come over to my house sometime and we'll watch it together. But
Yeah, you can rent the room. You can watch it there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'll make you popcorn too. Like I'm a pretty good host. So, but yeah, just stop asking to borrow my stuff when you don't take care of your own. Oh yeah. At least you guys get it. I try to explain that to other, even my wife, and she's like, I get it. They're terrible, but even she does that sometimes. Like, why'd you leave this out? Well, I mean, just the kids were busy. Yeah, but like, I mean, do you want to buy this again? Like, just look at it like I left $10 on the counter. Would you put it on top of a plate of dirty spaghetti, or would you say that's $10? I should probably put that in a wallet.
Yeah,
like that's the thing.
pretty much.
They just look at it and they're like, well, it's not mine. It's just a thing, right? Well,
Yep.
It's money that I did spend at one time, or it's something I got for cheap, but the cost to replace is going to be a lot more because, oh yeah, for the people that probably own maybe 20 DVDs in their life, well, it's not a big deal, right? Whatever. But when you're collecting, maybe about 800 discs now, that's a lot of money, even if it's $1 a disc. So, yeah, it's funny, but oh well. The joys of collecting and then people taking an interest, but the wrong kind of interest. Hey, that's cool. Can I play with it? No. Those Proton streams are probably like $40 a piece. $40? That's a lot of money. Yeah, I know. But I saved money and, traded some things and paid shipping from, Des Moines, and it got mailed up here. So unless you want to go through all that same work, I suggest that you don't borrow that. So how many NES games are you up to, Musty?
I have not counted them.
And have you? Oh, that's good. I never really had a solid count on mine either.
I do have the full Tengen set though.
Nice.
All
On
those,
cards
all 20 of them. Yeah.
with the Tetris.
Yep. I got Tetris.
That's a fun one.
It's good. It's the best version of Tetris.
Well, I don't know. I still like the Nintendo version. That's when you grow up on it.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand. I played the split screen and versus, and that's cool too. It is the original, but Nintendo did do pretty good at marketing their version of it. The music.
Well, they went through a lot to get it. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cool story. Well,
I'm happy with the collection so far. It's nice to finally get it on the wall and for first time in 5 months to be able to like look at it.
Yeah, that's a sturdy shelf. You got the adjustable kind of vertical racks with the arms on it. Is that it?
No, I built these. These are wooden uprights that are screwed in. So
cool.
So I painted these, screwed those to the studs, and then screwed the shelf pieces to those uprights.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
After my
own. It's Troy's plan. I kind of modified Troy's shelf.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy to put up the shelf. We had like a bookshelf when we were students, and that was really cool back in the day when DVDs were still relevant and people would come over and like I could actually pull the movie off the shelf to watch that night. But then after, we sold that bookcase and they just sat in storage, like the cases themselves. I think I had like a couple like 400 or 200 sleeved, the portable CD cases that they sold. That's what we stored our movies in. Very uninspiring to actually watch any of the movies that you owned. So it's nice. It's nice to put up on the shelves. It makes for a good podcast material.
Yeah.
So
I just realized it's funny that we're talking about like movies and box sets and everything because this was my only pickup this week. The first season of Legion on Blu-ray.
Legion. Why do
It's an
I
X-Men TV show.
know about that? Oh, okay. That's
Did you watch the TV version of Fargo at all?
it's on the list, but no.
Yeah. Well, same people or same
Oh.
creator at least.
Oh,
This
nice.
is bizarre, but it's good. It's like 8 episodes long, so worth taking a look at.
Is the Fargo show good?
Yeah, I like the first season of it. I haven't gotten around to season 2.
Oh, did you guys pick up the Strangers Things set when it came out?
No, but I did finally watch that show recently.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
Let me show. I got this when I happened to be down in the States. I'm like, hey, this is cool. And it turned out it was the Target exclusive, so I was not going to get this up in my native land here. So,
Oh, they made it look like a VHS tape.
yeah. It's pretty cool. They got the, fake worn edges. Hi-fi. The back looks like a VHS readout. So
The only thing worse than real torn edges are fake ones.
fake ones, yeah.
Actually, yeah, my Wolfenstein collector's edition has that.
Yeah, they got the aged end label. That's kind of cool. Now, this is kind of where the coolness kind of fades. So yeah, it does kind of look like these are
Yeah.
two reels, but then there's there's like a poster. Oh yeah,
See that? It's got
fake edges. Yeah.
Ugh, that's so irritating.
yeah, like
Yeah, they have this one
the
here.
sticker is real, but yeah, they've got there's some down on the bottom too. It's just like that.
I just love when special editions have like tons of printouts. This is the only one. It's just some sort of edition.
Yeah. I like that idea. It's like, isn't it cool that we made it look like shit?
I just want them to pack it full of like various paraphernalia and put like.
This has little spots on the around the plastic
Oh
section.
god!
Oh god, that's gonna be a nightmare for that stuff to try and have people resell it on eBay later.
Yeah.
And like claim that it's like new and in good condition. And it's like, but the picture, it's like, that's how it came. Don't blame me.
So they put a lot of work into the exterior and kind of the fold out of it, but then once you get inside, it's just DVDs. And they kind of combined it too. So they're like, we're not going to come out with separate DVD and Blu-ray releases. We're going to have both in one volume. Okay. Whatever. But I like a minor niche that I like to go after when I see them are the paper like unfoldable collector's edition. Like Pulp Fiction, of course, is pretty cool. Got lots of different fold outs and got the menu from the diner in there and Jack Rabbit. And it's got
any kind of box sets with folds bother me because that's just like more points of wear.
with the folds.
Yeah,
I know it's more points to wear, but it's like buying CD these days. Unless it has some sort of crap in it, why am I buying a CD anyway? I just want to look at useless paraphernalia inside. So.
The 2 worst box sets I've ever purchased, just in terms of impractical, annoying packaging.
What?
And they're for pretty much the same reason. Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
And Lost in Space.
Yeah, Seinfeld's the one. And I love Seinfeld. Probably one of my favorite shows.
Yep.
But yeah, I just looked at all that packaging, and there's no there was the limited edition or the collector's pieces where you can get the puffy shirt and all that. But other than
That's
that,
the one I'm talking about.
anything inside of them, it was just paper, and that's
Pan scam.
I'd rather have something cool inside that I can hold and look and read over.
Yeah.
I don't really need just a toy from Seinfeld as much
Yeah,
as
like-
I like the show. So.
Like it's I think it was like the little ketchup and mustard thing with the napkin dispenser from the diner, but like they're salt and pepper shakers or something. I don't even remember. It's
Yeah, like salt and pepper shakers in there.
Yeah. The weirdest thing about that for me, mine came with the puffy shirt and like engineered wrong. Like it was in sideways. And you can't open that to fix it.
And then the only other version they had was this like complete series, and I don't know if that's any better because it's another pet peeve, which I'm sure you can.
That's the packaging I was actually talking about because that's basically what's inside the limited edition one with the freaking cardboard envelope crap.
Yeah, I don't like I think I don't know which
And
is
the book type. That one. That's the exact thing that comes in limited edition, but without the stuff.
Like this is basically, they're consolidating all of the volume that they never sold into one, cheaper paper product, I guess.
Yeah.
But as far as getting these out, like
pain in the ass.
I'm afraid to touch them sometimes because I have to go against my mantra of never touching the edges just to get the damn thing out.
Yeah, like I kind of squeeze and pour it out, but then with a set like that, you risk doing that with every single disc at the same time. But like, it's worse for DVDs. For Blu-rays, it's like, okay, that's fine. They're scratch resistant. People love doing that with like anytime they find a disc that has that kind of placement. I think people do that with Uncharted 4 and Bloodborne.
Yeah. Ugh, Bloodborne. Why do people love Bloodborne so much? I hate watching it.
It's a great game. It's just really freaking hard.
Like, I watch people play that online. I'm like, why am I watching this? You're just going around, and then there's always, like, the load screen where it's like, Bloodborne!
Yeah. It's actually, those are fun to watch, because they take actual skill to play. Or it's fun to see people just fail utterly at them.
Yeah, I mostly just enjoyed them getting mad.
Yeah, I watched a playthrough the entire original Dark Souls, and the guy spent the entire game, and he was being coached. Because, like, a total noob player on Dark Souls specifically, at least, and being coached by someone who has played Dark Souls, like all of them, and he could not get the guy to get it through his mind that he had to clear away the item box after he picked something up. So he's just walking around with the item box in the bottom corner of the screen the entire game. Except that blocks stuff. Like, you can't, like, pick something else up or, like, pull up your shield when that's up. So he's like, oh, the game's broken. It's like, no, you're stupid. But he gets, like, the last level, and he still wasn't getting it through his head to just clear that button.
Here's the coin from 2015.
From which show? Midwest?
Portland.
Oh, Portland. Okay. Don't know why the color scheme made me think the other thing, but...
and here's the badge that Matt was talking about.
I have mine. I have mine from 2016.
A little lower. Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a claymation kind of deal with like a rain. Yeah.
Is yours the weekend as well?
Yeah, I did the weekend.
Did you not have a?
And then here's the one where I was a presenter at Midwest.
Nice. Yeah. Do you think people would buy these old buttons? I just find random.
Somebody will.
Like, new chicken McNuggets. Have you ever heard of chicken McNuggets? That was, I guess, when they had to wear those.
There's got to be some McDonald's historian who'd be like, oh my God, that's the one button I'm missing.
Yeah, well, I just mean like people that are into retro, like just useless crap, but it looks cool. I don't know. I just think it's funny. Like,
yeah,
the new chicken McNuggets. I guess they wore that back when they were trying to sell them in the 70s and 80s. So they sell themselves now. People make whole YouTube videos dedicated to their love for chicken McNuggets. right? Nuggets and memes. You've seen that. You've seen that video. I'm sure.
I don't think I have.
I have not a clue.
It's just talking. It's just talking about like, just shows this guy and he's kind of like dancing by himself, and then like things start to get him down, and there's just like a big like mob of people start coming in and like beating up on him. They have like labels on their shirts. Like one is just like it's like debt, bills, hunger. One is aggressive depression. Yeah, another one is just regular depression. So they're like getting him down about life because he's just and then two things come out of nowhere to save him, and it's chicken nuggets and memes. And then they're like doing a dance together. It's really goofy, but it's like, yeah, that's true. All I need are some nuggets and good memes to get me back up again.
That really sounds like an early YouTube video.
It
Like,
is,
remember, like the really sketchy, just really random crap people would do.
yeah, it has
Not
that.
sketchy, like weird stuff. Like just kind of random things. But the video quality was really sketchy.
Yeah, it has that. It has that flavor to it. You're like,
Yeah, like kind of Newgrounds era.
kind of like, I really like that, like the He-Man remix. That,
With the weird meme face.
yeah.
Funny you should bring that up. Today they announced a figure of that.
Really?
Yeah, there's a collector's toy of just meme He-Man.
That's really funny.
Yeah, you can look that up. It's actually looks like a decent figure. Much
Yeah.
better quality than any other He-Man figure I've seen.
I follow this guy on Instagram that makes like apparently like custom collectible action figures are a thing. So like making figures for, series or movies that never existed before. So they're doing like like Tom Hanks' The Burbs series. So like where Tom has like the bandages wrapped around his head. I don't know. It's a cult classic, I guess, but yeah. There's really no reason to have an action figure for that movie, but they do, and like they put out limited runs or whatever, and it's just kind of funny to see those. Yeah, same thing like the He-Man meme. Like, why does that exist?
Because internet.
Because they can, yeah.
Yep.
But
But
they get right into it. They make
with
the packaging for it, and they like they have it in the plastic cover, and the background is like some sort of splash image from the series. So it looks perfect. It looks like something like a carded action figure you could have bought in the store back in the day for $6. So
I don't know why, but the immediate thing when you mentioned like the really weird, like the Burbs figure, I mean, it went like, would they do an action figure set for Castaway?
yeah. I mean,
like with the ball.
Yeah, just Tom Hanks before he, when he first crashed on the island. So he'd have like
you could have variants on that one,
and he'd be carrying a FedEx box underneath his arm, and then there'd be the Tom Hanks that went wild with his hair, and yeah, there'd be early Wilson, there'd be late Wilson, and then there'd probably be the vehicle line where it would have his life raft that he built, complete with the sail. You might have to mail in for the sail.
Would you have one of them with a fire?
Yeah.
Like one of them would come with a little like campfire.
Yes, and the heat activated heat sensor fire starter kit.
Yeah, I was stepping away for a second because I figured since we were just talking about random crap, I'd go grab that Trouble shooter cartridge to show you.
Nice.
It's a really clean copy.
That's Vic Tokai, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a 2-player, right? Like That's the one where they're kind of floating in the air, like it's people instead of
Yeah,
spaceships or whatever.
yeah, it's fun. It's not something I really need, especially for what it's worth.
Nice.
I'll let you in on a secret. I left the price sticker on. $5.
$5. Where'd you get that?
Thrift store.
That's a good
There was
find.
a little sticker on it, but I got that off, and it's clean and no
Nice.
damage.
It's a good find. That's
There
my
might be a little bit of
back in the day. I think I picked
sticker
like
residue.
back before people had found this one pawn shop in Pinoca where I work regularly now. They let me behind the counter. I'm like, "Do you have any other games?" "Oh yeah, we have them in that drawer." And they didn't think about it, and nobody really knew. So I'm looking through there. I found, there was Lost Vikings 2 in there,
Mhm.
and then of course I just picked up Zero, the Kamikaze Squirrel on a whim because I'm like, well, it looks like it's at least $40 or so, and it was one of those games where it was not highly valued. Like SNES games kind of tend to skyrocket like that. They'll be like a $50-$60 game one day, and then they'll just shoot up to like over 200 because that's somebody bought one a little overpriced because they needed it for their collection, and now all of a sudden people seem to think that it's worth millions. So yeah, quite a few I was able to salvage out of that store, and it was like $8.
Yeah. It's fun when you find something like that's expensive and you have to kind of go just stern when you're walking up to the counter.
Yeah, Zombie Nation was probably the biggest difference in price that I got it for, and then what I ended up selling it for, which is a lot of money.
Yeah. One of my finds that wasn't like super amazing, but like just enough, like as a specific thing, a more modern game was I went into the pawn shop here and I asked if they had any other games, and they pulled out. I was like, oh, we were just cleaning these up to put out. And that's not true. They probably weren't cleaning them up. They were probably just looking at them to price them. But they just, it's like, oh, you can take a look at these, and they set them on the table. It's like, oh, Spyro Dawn of the Dragon on PS3. I think I will grab this. How much is it? $4? Okay. Thank you. Bye. And it's like, I just get out of the door, walk like slowly for like one building down, and then just because it's an $80 game or something.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta take the deals when you can find.
Yeah, but like that specific version is like the most valuable version of that game you can find. And it's like, oh, it's just behind the counter at the pawn shop. And my mom is huge into Spyro, so that's why I was really happy to find that, because that was the one she was missing that she thought she would like never get because it was so expensive. And it's like, oh hey, I just found this for $4. Here you go. And just like hyperventilating for a minute.
Win-win.
Yep.
Hey, I think I gotta get going.
Yeah,
So,
we've
yes.
passed the 4-hour mark now.
As efficient.
Yeah, people are gonna look at the time and say, "Oh, Paul must have showed up."
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you have you made a cap on the time?
No, we kind of fizzle usually at about the 3-hour mark lately.
Yeah, I usually just mention that as a this thing for people, like, hey, if everyone's kind of like getting a little bit done, we can stop now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can talk to myself for hours, so people keep.
Well, you should come back and talk with us for hours again.
Yep.
When because I think I saw the tweet. Like, did I join an hour late or?
Yeah, so we're starting. We start at 10 Eastern.
Okay,
is roughly when we start them now. But
yeah, we did at 9:30, but like the couple weeks that people weren't really showing up for about a half an hour, so I just started doing them at 10 because like that seems like when people are ready. Now.
Yeah, I'd like to stop by more often. I've been meaning to do it. A couple of people have been saying, you should join when you can. I'm like, yeah, I know. I just, when time comes around, the kids are finally in bed, then the wife and I get some time together, and then by that point, I just fall asleep on the couch. Another tradition of mine where I fall asleep while I'm doing media. So, but, yeah, well, it was good to jump in. Good to hang out with you guys.
It's good to see you.
Hangout, right? I used it. I used the word.
There you go.
All right. Well, yeah,
All
you
right.
guys, good night. We'll see you another time.
All right. Good to see you,
Good
Paul.
talking to you again.
Yep. Well, I will. I'll message you tomorrow once I get to the post office.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a comment no one else will understand. We'll leave it there and end the broadcast. See you guys.
All right. See you.